you see? Did you hear? Did you know what's coming?
Why do you have to do this?
Destiny starts today. So,
I
uh,
never saw that movie. I have no idea what the movie's even about.
it's a they the story goes that uh the localization team wanted to do each movie individually. There's actually three movies mashed into one, but Saban Entertainment came down and was like, "No, you have to turn this into a full feature-length film so we can make money in the theaters." So they made them mash up three movies that are totally disconnected from each other into one movie,
What?
and Saban interfered and localized in big fat air quotes the heck out of it till it became a meme.
I see.
So they just they did the best of what they had. They kept the raw story intact, but they what we got was experience.
With Rat.
Yeah, with the Digirep. So maybe I'll talk more about the Digimon movie when we get more to my week, because it really is a very interesting story. But welcome to another episode of No Excuses. We're temporarily or possibly permanently down somebody this week because our host in the desert has had a waterfall from the sky, and this has terrified him to hide under his bed.
This is basically like when snow falls from the sky in Georgia.
Yeah, like we all hide under our covers when it's snowing, and Fern hides under his bed when there's water. I would love to see how y'all do in tornado season, though. That would be fun.
Well, I mean, where I'm from, you get the odd tornado. Well, it's usually not a tornado, it's usually a water spout because New Zealand is all coast.
Yeah,
But I would say water spouts are arguably worse than tornadoes because you get wet as well. But it's pretty infrequent. It's like, maybe one a year, and most of them are small.
yeah,
It'll pull off the roofs of all the buildings on the waterfront and then bugger off back out to sea or something like that.
yeah. We have multiple tornadoes within a 50-mile radius of me every year. Occasionally, I've driven a few miles out from my house and just seen houses destroyed. The tornadoes are weird because they're so focused and localized in their destruction to just the funnel cloud that they'll totally wreck one house and the house next door will be fine.
Ours will literally go for a walk along the boardwalk on the waterfront,
Yeah, ours will
like
kind.
as though it's following a footpath.
Yeah, ours won't do that. They'll usually just kind of zigzag. Sometimes they'll hop across the street just to be fun, but they'll just cut a line of destruction wherever they go.
By contrast, we have to redraw our coastline periodically because the level.
Oh, pickle.
Hello, hello.
Okay, your mic cut for a second there.
There's always been something a little bit wonky about this plug.
Yeah, it's like if it gets too much data at one time when it's not ready for it, it just shuts off and then turns back on the next time you speak.
Hmm.
But it
Yeah,
happens so infrequently, it's usually not noticeable.
we in New Zealand have to periodically redraw the coastline because the level of the ground has gone up or down.
Mm-hmm. So,
That's our local disaster.
indeed. So we have a shtick.
Yes. If you'd like to get involved with the show, such as it is, you can do so by sending us email, noexcusesvdw@gmail.com. You can follow us on the Twitter at noexcusesvdw.
I
The
assume
show description underneath the archive on YouTube.
Yep. Fern's ding, I think, interrupted my sound that time. Hey, Fern.
Hey,
You come out.
that was a whole thing.
You has come out from under your bed when the sky water stopped falling.
Uh, we are still completely baffled and mystified as to what this strange substance falling from the sky is.
Okay, I do the same thing with snow.
Yes.
How did the cloud even make it that far inland without like getting attacked by spiders or something?
I'm not sure spiders can attack clouds, but Then again, you
Australia,
do
they
see
probably
clouds
can.
of flying spiders, so there is that. That is actually a thing, by the way, yes.
Yeah, I read Charlotte's Web too.
Yes. Except Charlotte's Web kind of undersold it.
I had
So yeah,
songs from Charlotte's Web stuck in my head this week. The movie.
It's an old movie.
Mm-hmm.
And they had that really crap sequel.
Did it have a sequel? There can't be a sequel to
Yeah.
Charlotte's Web. It's impossible.
I didn't know they had a sequel.
They did, but it was awful, and no one remembers it.
But Charlotte's dead.
Yeah, but
Oh, yeah,
the
doesn't matter.
the runt of the litter stayed behind, didn't it?
They
Yeah,
had
the pig was still alive.
Oh right, they had
and,
she had the
had
three baby
baby-
yeah, she had 3 baby spiders that were too small to fly away.
Yeah. So that the sequel's about them.
It was a terrible idea. The story was finished.
The story was finished. It didn't need a sequel. Yeah, we thought we were just about to get a quick splash of rain and everything would be fine, and then it suddenly decided, no, it's going to spin on top of us.
Oh, you did get a tornado.
Not quite. But when a rain still spins like that, you just get thunder, lightning, and terribleness.
I
It's
see.
still grumbling out there, by the way. You might be able to hear it in the background.
Not really.
Unfortunately, in our background, there's a construction site in my suburb. Apparently, I guess it must be for that supermarket that wants to open up. So, and they have decided that it is appropriate to start pile driving at 7 in the morning.
Yep, on the dot.
We're also in Falls World, by the way, Fern.
Oswald, okay.
We were going to do some talent domains, but if you need your weekly bosses, we can bop those instead first, and then go.
We can do talent domains.
Or not talent domains, like gear domains.
I have done no
we
transfer
can
this week.
Okay.
So
we can also do
those.
You can also do those.
Unfortunately, as you can hear, my health has not improved.
You are still dying.
Generally speaking, if I get sick and it really manages to get its hooks in, even after the bulk of the symptoms are gone, my lungs will continue to protest for several weeks afterwards. So there doesn't really seem to be anything for it. I feel like it would be better if I could, like, I don't know, stick a toilet brush down my trachea and just scrub everything out, because there's clearly something nesting down there. But unfortunately, I just have to put up with it as it is. So there will be a lot of coughing and wheezing.
Just
Not the Pokemon, just the regular kind.
Just call up the Appalachian moonshiners and drink some of that instead of beer. Maybe that'll kill everything.
That'll clean you out.
It might kill you too, but I mean,
Yeah, it'll clean the soul right out of your body.
But your throat won't hurt anymore.
Neither will
My
anything else.
my throat doesn't hurt. It's just constantly trying to clear mucus, and it's actually clearing mucus. For some reason, it's managed to find more and more and more of it.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I guess we can do worst boss, chess boss.
Okay, let's go do worst boss.
Since we're in Val's world already.
Where is my trans domain menu? And plus, I need the rooks for Nefa.
Am I not surprised that she needs chess pieces? You're doing Skirk? Okay.
Yeah, it's just it is strongly indicated for by this stage, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is why I prefer to do this one in Val's world, because he has the free Steam.
He has the Skirks.
I've already done my kill this week, but every time I do it by myself, it's painful.
Yeah. All right, shall we jump into some weeks?
Yep. What was your week?
My week, I'd planned to do a lot of Skong this week, but work had other plans. Fun with tourists, and then we did have a drunk cowboy event, but it was so small we didn't notice really, other than there was a bunch of drunk cowboys walking around with horses. So It's an annual thing that they do. I don't know why, but when it's attached to this horse race meeting, they always have a big party and everyone cross dresses. Very strange.
What?
But
What?
Fern was in the wrong lane.
that time I was in the wrong lane.
Still in the wrong lane.
I got. So yeah, it ended up being just an outrageously busy week, so I didn't get as much done as I would like.
Uh-oh.
So still chipping away at the scongs. I got Trobio, who is... He takes a long time to die when you beat him. He has to milk that invisible cow.
It was the best death in the game.
It is the best death.
Everybody loves Trebio.
Is that so?
Much ham.
Yeah, he's a major drama queen.
Yeah. Then I got horribly lost. Went and found the tether ability, the hook shot, I guess you can call it. I forget what it's actually called.
Yeah.
And got lost in the White Ward. Ended up fighting the Unraveled, which I still have no idea what that was all about.
If you read the lore tablets, basically the Weavers are a race of spider bugs, and they were empowered by the higher being of Farlim. Also, we should probably... That works.
We should beat up the queen, yeah. The king's getting a bit popped.
They're both going to pop right here. But we're dead. We are dead.
Are we? Barbara, fix it!
I don't know what I'm
Barbara can't
expected
fix
to do.
I couldn't press the fix it button.
I was watering as water as I can water. I guess Muhalani just has negative hydro application.
She
Yeah,
really
well, I can only
doesn't.
apply the cryo.
Like, I resorted to spamming basic attack, and that still wasn't getting it done.
Yeah. So anywho, yeah, I've got a bunch of the scrolls I need to hand in yet, so I've got to go and do a lore dive.
Oh, the Unraveled.
The Unraveled. Otherwise, it's a thread boss at the bottom of a big pit.
Yeah, basically, he's the result of experiments from the bugs using the silk from the higher being that empowered the Weavers on other bugs, because the silk makes bugs long-lived and makes them stronger. And he's one of their many failed experiments in making an artificial replacement deity for the grandmother.
Ah.
I can't continuously trigger anything. I've never even seen this phase.
Oh, yeah. I've never seen him break out the rook, no.
I've seen that one before when I failed the first phase. I've failed it a few times because I don't have any cryo characters.
Yeah. See, it was a fun fight.
He's a very simple
Honestly,
fight, but I like how he just gets faster and faster.
He gets faster and faster, and it's one of those fights that once you lose the rhythm, that's it. You're done.
Mm-hmm.
He'll get you.
Did you explore enough in White Ward to pick up the healing injector?
I did, actually. I found that on the first lap through. Went away, found the hook shot, came back into the other.
Yeah, because the healing injector is probably the best generic tool in the game for a passive tool.
Yeah. I haven't used it yet, but...
It doubles the speed of your healing.
It doubles the speed of healing. It's kind of one of those things that's like, duh, use this.
Yeah, it's the most easy to recommend tool of all time.
Yeah. So really, my experiment ended. I went back and went to do some old quests because I needed to go and get some rosaries again.
You also need to do all the wishboard quests in order to trigger Act 3.
Yeah. So I went to clear a few of those. Went to do one where I had to go track a missing bug, and I forgot that I kind of skipped a boss.
Boss.
what's his name now? The moth boss.
Oh, Morwing.
That's him. So if you follow the trail, you will find a part in Greymore where you're just gliding along following the trail. Morwing will actually drop out of the sky at high speed and smack you straight in the face if you do that.
Mm-hmm.
With no warning. What are we doing? Daddy.
No, is this Daddy or is this dragon? This dragon.
Dragon.
So
Oh,
Kanish.
it's a dragon.
So use
Kanish.
Kanish.
Yep, got to get that soul.
Gotta get that night soul. So yeah, that was a rude surprise. I didn't end up fighting him. I went walkabouts again.
Because I was in spoiler-free mode when I was going through the game, when I encountered Morwing by surprise going back through, I didn't know he existed because I moved the fleas first and was not looking up anything.
Oh, yep.
So that was fun.
Yeah, I just completely forgot that he was there. So when he just suddenly pops out of nowhere and just goes whap, because oh well, hello Morwing, I forgot you're there. So that was fun, but I didn't end up fighting Morwing too much. I kept on exploring and doing other missions, and I found the second beast fly.
Oh, the quest for him.
Yeah, so that's where I'm up to. Where I stopped is fighting that thing. And as annoying as the first beast fly was, he's not too hard really.
No.
The second one though is just a cheater.
He's got fire.
He's got fire and he knocks the floor out.
Yeah, there is lava, and he will make sure that you are going to take a bath.
And those little fire-spitting skelly things your moves. They don't take much to kill, but yeah, they are alarmingly good at predicting where you're going to go. So yeah, that's Skong. Still good, but yeah, I'm going through it very slowly. The only other bit of week really was loafing around and watching Kinnikuman Perfect Origin arc on anime, which is honestly it's Kinnikuman. Kinnikuman is just one giant tournament arc, and there's nothing else to it. Also fart jokes, but there's not a whole lot of those this time. But it's giant muscle men. They will all get into an argument about something. A wrestling ring will appear out of nowhere, and they will proceed to wrestle in the most ridiculous way possible. I should probably Barbara for this.
What do we do?
Yeah, incidentally, actually, at one point, not long ago, I did go back and look at the original Kinnikuman from, the 60s. It's very, very strange. So you can still recognize a lot of the characters. They haven't changed in their designs a whole lot, except for like Terryman, the American wrestler, who is just for some reason purple back then.
Mm-hmm.
No reason, just purple. And then he goes away for a while and he comes back and he's not purple anymore. And no one acknowledges it.
Also, Fern, you might want to be sure to heal.
Yes. I'll just stand back and Barbara.
That was some front-loaded damage.
It's going to fix that. I'll have that back up by the time we're ready for it.
What? I got one shot.
Oh. Yeah, she
That's
does that.
Bullshit. Well, at least we've got 2 DPSs and Ari can do everything else. I'll just keep the matrix running.
Assuming I don't get hit. Oh, like this.
Yeah, like that.
Okay, I got food.
Don't get too whaps. The fix it Barbara button's not ready yet.
Well, I do a little bit of healing because I've got prototype Amber on heater.
Yep.
And like a million billion energy recharge.
Fix it, Barbara.
I don't know where.
Like, at the start of that phase, she'll always choose someone just to whap. And it looks like it was your turn to get whapped.
Oh, y'all are on your own.
Have you looked at our team comp?
Y'all got this, I believe.
Oh, you don't have to get it a 0, do you?
No, not quite. I'm going to argue with that frame perfect dodge. The game usually doesn't let me get away with that sort of thing.
This is the most underpowered Bloom team ever.
We'll heal her to death.
Golly, watching those blooms take 80 years to blow up is driving me nuts.
Well, you should have brought Nailu then.
Could have brought Nailu. That's the thing I could have done.
There.
I definitely
Photograph
wouldn't have
video.
died then.
Let's never speak of this again.
Yeah, Verisa, probably even squishier than Mavwika. She just gets destroyed.
Yeah. So yeah, the rest of my week beyond that has been Digimon.
All monsters, Digimons are the champions.
That was not
Real
in the,
trick is getting Aristeel
animated
not to
concept.
sing and not to rap.
I know, right?
DigiWill and Digivice in hand. There's a DigiDynamic force in Digiland.
Please.
How do they find somebody willing to perform things like that without, like, just cringing into a singularity?
I have no idea. But 4Kids was full of such that cringe.
Oh, it wasn't 4Kids, it was Saban Entertainment that you can thank for that one.
Oh, that was Saban, yes. 4Kids had their own pile. But that was, steaming. But yeah, that was Saban.
Yeah, I was telling this story a little bit before the show, but originally the actual team that made Digimon was not going to
I'll do this.
Oh, Fern, I got an idea.
Oh.
No, I don't got an idea. JK, I lie. This will work, I guess. Well, if you pick Kenichi, it might work better, actually.
If you want more blooms to pop, yeah. As long as you can pop blooms. Yeah. Yeah, 4Kids gave us the majesty that was the One Piece rap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah, the
Oh yeah.
originally the Digimon movie was not going to be the Digimon movie. It was going to be the first 3 Digimon movies released as direct-to-TV specials from the localization team over time. Saban Entertainment, after seeing the success of the Pokemon movie, said, "Nah, y'all ain't doing that," and came down with a mandate that said, "You guys need to get your butts out there and make us one giant cinematic feature film."
You make them sound like a pimp.
I mean, yes.
You get your ass out there and earn me some money.
So
Yes.
the voice actor for Tentomon was the head of production for that.
What comes off this domain, by the way?
You need it for
Not
Flynn's.
cry artifacts.
Okay. Yeah.
So we're all basically for like throughout like this entire series
Oh,
of events.
dang it. I pushed the button on reflex.
Yeah, I need Silk and Moon.
Oh my goodness me.
But yeah, so
You need the Silk and Moon?
I think I need Silk and Moon. I need something.
I was under the impression he was like an attacky type guy, but
yeah, I think he needs the black one.
He's kind of weird, yeah.
But
Anyway.
So the Digimon movie was compressed. They took the first 3 Digimon movies and compressed them with a totally edited script to make them make sense into one movie. And at that point, the movies were just so what the fudged that they just did silly rewrites throughout the entire process and licensed all kinds of silly music, which is how we got, Smash Mouth and all the other late 90s, early 2000s music that was crammed in there. And they also somehow, apparently, they just didn't have the rights to play the music for the original Digimon soundtrack. So, like Butterfly and Braveheart, they just couldn't use those, and that's why they had to be replaced. It wasn't a localization change so much as Saban just didn't have the rights when they made the deal. Fern, did you get the domain invite? Tickle. Oh, I think he must.
Lost power, have you, Fern? Fernu?
We may have to back out.
Did he drown? Did the spiders who maintain his internet drown?
It's possible.
Are we still streaming?
We're still streaming. That is definitely a thing that's happening. Not sure what happened to Fern. He may be back. So I guess while we stall for time, I will continue the story. So if you go watch the Digimon movie now, you'll notice just a whole lot of stuff in it that they just made it up whole cloth. Like everything to do with the third movie, they have to tie into everything because that's the real problem. Is that one takes place several years afterwards. He exploded.
I thought he was on Skylink, man.
Yeah. So, where was I? Right. So, there's my favorite part is an entire subplot of the movie that part of the main story for the main movie, the one in the middle that has the least cut from it. There's a point where Izzy has to run to the bathroom because of Ty's mom feeding them too much oolong tea. Instead, the Digimon movie American version has Ty's mom just being the worst cook in anime history, and I know that's a high bar.
Well,
but
you don't know that her cooking is bad per se.
I mean, the whole movie there's like a solid 2 minutes of added voice lines for her that are just now he's back. I didn't wait for him to get back in. There's like a solid added 2 voice lines. Hey kids, I just squeezed some onions. And Izzy's like pouring flour onto the table, and he goes, "So do I have enough of this stuff?" And Ty's mom just goes, "Beats me. It's the first time I've used flour to bake a cake." And I made your favorite, kids, liver sticks. Like this is the kind of thing that happens. So instead of him drinking too much tea, it's now all of Ty's mom's cooking has destroyed his stomach, and why he has to abandon the battle instead of just having to pee really bad. And while he's away, Ty bops the computer screen because he's frustrated and causes it to blue screen. And the big CRT monitor starts beeping.
Yeah.
So you get
that's understandable, still not, as it turns out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the power just hiccuped and reset everything. Okay. Fun.
I was like, surely Fern can't have lost internet. He's on Skylink now, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, the Digimon movie is definitely worth a watch just because of how out there it is. I was gonna hang on until Fern gets back in before we go back in.
I'll be back in a sec. Everything's coming back on. All right. So yeah, the other anime then, before we get into Time Stranger, is there's a new anime series and a Digimon Beat Break. They've only got 1 episode out at the moment, and it's odd. I'm not exactly sure what the hell is going on yet.
Well, every Digimon series takes place in a slightly different universe, aside from Adventure and Adventure 2.
Yeah. So in this case, everyone is running around, and they've got probably the most inconvenient personal assistant device. It's just an egg.
Mm-hmm.
Because, Digimon, got to have the egg.
How big of an egg are we talking here?
About large Easter egg size.
That's not
Same
that's
size as
really,
two,
really
two
unhelpful.
fists together.
2 fists together. Okay, that's large-ish.
Large-ish.
Depending on the size of your fists.
Depending on the size of your fist. If you have large, regular size fists, so yes. And for some reason, these are powered by e-pulse, which everyone has, and it seems like it's powered by emotions, but they never really explain that yet. Some people have weird e-pulse, and that causes these digital assistant eggs to hatch, and there's your Digimon.
I see. This does not sound as interesting as the fifth season, where they just punched a Digimon, and this gave the Digimon the power to the Digivolve.
Yes. In this case, you fill up an egg with power, and then you feed it to the Digimon. They are eating,
See, this is why Digimon never had any hooks for me. Nothing makes any freaking sense.
It generally doesn't. Just don't think, enjoy, watch Big Monster Smash. Hang on. Hoyo has not decided to connect me to the server. That is strange.
No, what my Twitter timeline has told me is that the purpose of Digimon is to be thirsted over.
Yeah, that's
We have Wolvermon for that now.
I don't know.
That's the new furry bait this year.
Well, mostly it's been people posting pictures of Lilithmon and that new one, the Beelstarmon one.
Yeah, the
white... yeah, Underboomon.
Yeah, the one they added with in the last 7 years, because Beelstarmon wasn't a thing when Cyber Sleuth came out. That was like 7 or 8 years ago.
Yeah, she came in not long after that. So yeah, it's strange. Just to confuse everything, by the way, the main character's partner is Gekomon, not to be confused with Gekomon. Just to confuse everything, there is now 2 of them. One with 1K to one with 2. Yeah, 2Ks is... No, sorry. 1K is the onomatopoeia for gecko, which is ribbit, basically, for the Japanese. It's the frog with the trumpet.
Oh, it's Karamon. Yeah.
Yeah, well, one of the variants is Gekomon, the other's Karamon.
Yeah.
Because especially early on, Digimon loved palette swap.
Mm-hmm.
The new one is a little loudmouth chameleon thing.
Uh-huh.
Also, it wants to eat his partner, so there's that.
So, it's Aho.
Kind of. In this universe, the Digimon actually want to suck all the power out of people, and it basically kills them. That's gross. That's basically it. They are data vampires.
But people are not made of data, though.
Nope.
Well, until a Doberman shows up and you make a wish really hard, and then you have DNA data DNA that acts like data, because tamers, and we needed a reason to cram biomerging in, so it made sense in the real world, and we couldn't come up with anything, so we just BS magic.
We just pull this out of our ass.
Leomon wellness check.
No, dead. Okay, there we go. Now it seems to be working. Yeah, Leomon's been around for 5 minutes. He's dead. So yeah, interested to see where they go, because it is very, very bright, flashy, has fairly high production values. Unlike various other Digimon ones, it's like sometimes they go for a more grown-up audience. Other times they just directly aim squarely at kids, and the ones that are aimed at kids are usually, let's face it, terrible. Looking at you, X-Cross Wars. Digimon Fusion.
Yeah.
The abomination that was Shoutmon.
I watched one through Tamers on the television. I went back and watched Frontier later, and Frontier was just terrible. Don't watch Frontier.
Yeah, Frontier was bad.
And then after that, I watched Savers, and Savers was flipping amazing. Because you need Digivolve. Well, the humans got to go punch the enemy Digimon in the face first.
Just because.
And that's the most metal thing on the planet.
Yeah.
It helps that he's also a dude bro that's just way too hot-headed
That's
for his
kind of
own
how he
good.
rolls anyway.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I got hit by the enemy or if I stood too close to Bloom Ground Zero.
Probably at Ground Zero
They're
Bloom.
both. Yeah. Ghost Story, I enjoyed Ghost Story, except it, honestly, I think it kind of forgets its whole, Ghost Story premise about halfway through. But that's fine.
Oh, Fern left the domain.
Yeah. Where are the good artifacts? Where are they?
I'm honestly not even.
Elsewhere.
I'm just burning fragile resin trying to fish up something worth a damn.
Warped a bit hard in there.
Yeah,
I think I was in Bloom's Ground Zero.
I think I won't go the Bloom route there.
Yeah. It ends poorly. Not without a healer. So yeah, there's been some good ones over the years. There's been some stinkers, but honestly, Digimon's like one of those things you can enjoy for a while. Like Pokemon anime, it's only in recent times that they've actually done anything different than what they've been doing for the last 30 years.
Yeah, at least even if they have stinker seasons in Digimon, they try something different every time, and their wins are usually pretty big.
Yeah. Pokemon basically wrote the same episode over and over again for 30 years. It's only recently that they retired Ash. Presumably he is 11 years old now.
Wait, they retired him?
Yeah, Ash is done. He actually won the Pokemon League, and that's his story done.
Yeah,
Didn't they just change the art style and reboot or something?
They did for his last season, where he was kind of in a school.
So he's retired at age 11 now. Is that what's going on?
Yes.
That brings up another interesting point lately, is I've noticed part of the reason this Time Stranger seems to be doing so much better than one would expect for just the next Digimon game, even though this one's been anticipated because it's been a while, is it seems like the Pokemon fans are finally just had enough with Nintendo and Game Freak.
Oh, they really have. Absolutely have. We've got the new Pokemon ZA, Legends ZA. It looks like they've shown the entirety of the game in the trailers. It's like, here's a few new megas. Here's what the map looks like. You're all in one city.
Oh dang it! I did it that time.
That's it. Get out. That's your lot. So it's like, it's the same. Even if though it's Legends and the Legends series so far, consisting of one game, has been where all the innovation came from in the last 30 or 40 years at this point. It really wasn't a whole lot.
Yeah, they really have just trotted out the same thing. Like Cyber Sleuth, the Hacker's Memory to Time Stranger may be iterative, or maybe follow the same basic DNA, but they iterate with each new entry by a significant amount. Also, Fern, you coming in the domain, or did you miss the invite? Or did Fern explode again?
I think he exploded again. I think he does not have electricity.
All right. So yeah,
EM circle. Are they a thing?
no. No, EM circlets, no, you gotta craft those. They don't exist. I mean, they probably technically exist on the drop table, but they might as well not exist.
I'd also like an energy recharge timepiece. That would be nice.
Those, I have seen them before. Not often, except on sets that don't want it. But EM headpieces, like even offset, those things just don't exist.
Friend is gone.
He will return, maybe. So, yeah. Well, we could save Time Stranger talk for my week then for when he gets back. Why don't you go ahead and go on your week then?
Okay. Let's see. I might just finish what I'm doing here because it's going to take all of my focus to try and talk without just going into a lengthy coughing fit, which is I hate my lungs. Do I have a something to drink or something around here? No space left in artifact inventory. Please free up space. Man.
Mulch them perps. I don't know why this game doesn't have an auto mulch perp option.
You know, mulching perps is not going to really help that much because most of what's in my inventory is golds. They need to be mulched manually, unfortunately. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of trash in here. I could probably just get rid of basically all of the plunging attack ones because I can't see myself building plunging attack anytime soon. Maybe just give the best ones to Garming or something like that and call it good.
If you ever are possessed to Pulverisa. I have like 1,000 artifacts of 4-star and below. Get mulched.
Hello, hello.
Hello? I don't know why it keeps doing this. The storm is gone.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's moved to wherever your power transfer station is.
Bet you if I look at the weather, it's going to be sitting on top of the substation just outside. Let's see.
Ooh, I was nearing artifact cap. I'm glad I mulched all them purples and greens and stuff because we went exploring in Natland and I had not mulched my my greens and blues either.
Mulch away then.
Yep, I mulched.
Anyway.
Yeah, that storm band is just following the road east.
Right.
Which means every time it encounters a power line, it's probably going to strike it.
So let's do this, Fern. Let's delay Time Stranger talk until my week, and we can talk about it together. And we'll give the storm time to move on, and we'll do Vol's week.
Yep. Go for it.
Okay, let's see. First, we'll start with Blue Archive. So Blue Archive this week, the main thing I did on it was I finished chapter 2 of Decagrammaton, which is now officially complete. They released it in many chunks over a long period of time. But yeah, it was reasonably satisfying. I'm probably going to have to review some parts of it because it came out at such a slow pace that I kind of don't remember some of the things that happened before. But it's still in to be continued mode, though. The story is not finished. It's sort of like an experiment in content delivery, I guess, the way that they have spooled that one out. It was only recently that they made it into part of the main story menu so that you can go and review them at any time. But yeah, it is one of those. It is sort of a bit of an odd beast because it's really unclear sort of when it's taking place, and how like it's pretty clear that the events of the final chapter already took place because and the events of Games Development Department chapter 2 already took place. But there are parts of it that seem to take place earlier than that, parts that take place later. It's all a bit vague, and of course the Games Development Department goobers are exactly who you need on a mission to save the world, as usual. What could possibly go wrong?
I mean, there are worse groups to pick from in Kivotos.
Well, I mean, if you really need to pick a group that almost certainly doesn't have any malicious ulterior motive, they're probably one of the safest bets. But yeah, so it basically finishes on a sort of like a, a 24 hours to midnight sort of note, in that the current looming threat is a thing called the Steel Continent, which is closing in on Kivotos. But they do have somebody in their writing staff is a very big Yuka fan, because they gave her a special cameo when she just doesn't really have all that much else, and had the opportunity to ship tease her with Sensei in the span of like the 30 seconds that she's on screen type of thing. But yeah, overall it was a reasonably good way of rounding it out, and introduces the new restrictions release boss Tifereth, which is a very weird one. I don't really participate in that game mode, so I don't really know how it works. But it seems to be based on, essentially, you've got to be very careful about how you time your ad kills, because you can really only hurt the boss by killing ads. But if you don't kill the ads in time before a phase change, the one still standing will heal the boss instead, etc., etc. It's got a whole raft of mechanics, but I don't really participate in that, since these days I really only play Blue Archive for the story. Anyway, Star Rail, there's nothing happening in Star Rail, so that's the easy one to talk about. We're sort of in the content drought before the next content drop. The free 5-star should be next week, I think. I presume that means that the meta's going to be shilling something everybody has. Wouldn't that be nice?
That'll be a first.
But yeah, I did the mini game thing that they're forcing us to do again. I'm gonna have to include some negative feedback in the survey about that. It's like, yeah, I kind of resent you forcing me to play this game over and over again. Like, I'm here to play Star Rail. I'm not here to play Match 3. But I did the Match 3 one because it's easier for me than Seal Slammers, so I got my points from there. But thankfully, the other players appear to be retards, because despite me being terrible at Match 3, I managed to dominate my 30-player bracket unambiguously twice in a row, meaning that I only had to play the game twice in order to get all of the points I needed, since it rewards very heavily due to the large number of competitors you've got to beat out. So yeah, I only had to play 2 rounds, which is all good with me because I didn't sign up to play Match 3 in Star Rail. Anyway, ZZZ's doing precisely nothing at the moment. There's like a wander around and pick up model Bang Boo's event going of 0 consequence.
Yeah, got the
Normally, gone.
Oh, we got the big content patch of ZZZ in a few days, so
Yeah, I know, but there's been nothing to do all week waiting for it.
yeah.
Normally they tie their events in a bit better with the main plot, but it's like they didn't bother this time, like, at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even though they've got Ellen standing there, she has basically no lines during the entire thing. So I'm not even sure why they bothered. It all seemed a bit odd to me how slack they were compared to what they normally do. But yeah, right? Saved me some time, I suppose. Genshin is doing another freaking photo event, which I think is their version of a low effort event. They don't have to do very much. But other than that, there's not really much taking place there either. It's they had their their preview stream this week on. It wasn't Friday anymore because we've gone through daylight savings, so it happened at like 1 a.m. on a Saturday. But yeah, so they showed the previews for the new patch coming out on Genshin, and it seems like there's going to be a bunch of stuff happening as usual, etc., etc. Nefer, of course, being released. First banner is going to be Nefer Farina. Second banner is going to be Arcano and Big John. For some reason.
Okay.
Who's the second banner going to be?
Arcano, Big John.
Oh, okay.
If I call him Big John, you might know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I just didn't hear you the first time.
But yeah, I don't know who's going to be pulling on Big John in this day and age. Since
Especially
he was
Alcino.
he was being marketed when I stopped playing the first time, like 4 years ago. It's not exactly state of the meta. However, there have been some rumors percolating about that there's going to be some minor kit tune-ups for older characters in Luna 3 to tie in with Durin, particularly characters associated with the Hexen Circle, but most of what the leaks that are going into any more detail, and this is again bearing in mind that the leaks have been especially unreliable of late, that they're going to be extremely low-key tune-ups, not like drastic ones the way ZZZ and HSR do them, which just basically means that they're going to be missing the boat on what they're supposed to be accomplishing, but them's the breaks. We'll see what they do, if anything. But yeah, so we've got the official list of things that you need to farm for Nefer now. So I'm working on that to some extent. It would be nice if the relic domain would drop the dam, but it seems to be bent on not doing so. So I'll probably, I'll keep plugging away at it a bit each day, and then just before the patch comes out, I will burn up my crafting opportunities because for whatever silly reason, despite the fact that they have ridiculously limited the materials required to craft pieces, they still also limit you to only crafting one piece per set per patch. Don't know why.
Yeah, that
The
really drives me nuts with Genshin that they do that.
Yeah, I mean, if the resources are already so incredibly limited, why do you need to place a second limitation on it? Like, if they were farmable, then I could understand, but they're not farmable, are they? So
Genshin just loves its arbitrary limitations. That's why they're hanging on to that stupid date lock on the domains.
well, the thing is that it was suspended for half of the patch. Well,
Yes.
14 out of 42 days, it was suspended. So why not just suspend it entirely? Why you got to be wasting our time this way?
Nobody likes it. Get rid of it.
Doesn't really seem necessary at all. But yeah, that is what they're doing. It seems that the special thing that Nefer gets is basically she knows dirt on everybody. Like the way that Lauma can communicate with animals, and Flynn's can communicate to some extent with the wild hunt. Like he can understand what they're saying instead of saying gerbil gerbil. He can actually hear what the words are coming out of their mouth. Nefer just has the dirt on everybody, basically. Like it's sort of it seems to be sort of like the way Nahida can see what people in Sumeru are thinking. Nefer knows all of their dirty laundry.
As you do.
But yeah, the line count's leaked for the next patch, and Nefer has like twice as many lines as the next highest, which is Paimon. So she's this probably is a combination of two things. I'd say number one, she's probably the exposition bot for this next patch, and number two, she's probably just involved in every event,
whether people want her to be or not.
Like you're probably going to be, you'll be working with a variety of other characters, but the one who's going to be with you all the time will probably be Nefer in this case, whereas last time it was more or less Lauma. So when you're working with Sandrone, when you're working with Columbina, when you're working with Lauma, when you're working with probably Nefer is always going to be there. So she gets involved in every conversation. That's probably why her line count is so astronomical compared to everybody else's. That said, Paimon's also in those places. I want to limit the amount of talking Paimon does. I don't think anybody will complain.
It does kind of hog the mic a bit.
But yeah, there's also going to be apparently a Layla-centric story,
Oh dear.
which is problematic because I don't know anything about Layla. But I mean, she is like the Genshin resident expert on moons, so it kind of makes sense for her to be involved at this juncture. But the problem is that I don't know when Layla was introduced, if she had an event where there's a bunch of story that tells you about who she is and what she does, and like when she gets involved in the story that actually I don't remember, was it part of Raiden Shogun's story or was it part of Mizuki's story? I don't remember, but she gets involved with Mizuki anyway, and you find out like a little bit about her there, but it's all seems to be information you're implied to already know, but I decidedly don't. I mean, Aristotle, you've done all the quests in Sumeru, right? She doesn't appear there, right?
No, her and what's her face?
Fair enough.
Yeah, just don't seem. If they do appear, it's in cameos that I barely remember existing. Not as key
Yes,
characters,
I
and I
just-
haven't done all the quests in Sumeru yet, though. There's still. I'm not quested Sumeru out. I've only zone completed Sumeru. So it's possible
yes,
there's
so-
some hidden quests out there, but I have not found anything yet, and I've done a lot of the quests there.
It seems like character introduction would be pretty major. If
Yeah.
you've done the world quest, there should have been enough. But yeah, so she's going to have a quest of sorts involved as well, and there's going to be a bunch of reappearances of the old crew from Sumeru, like Kava and Alhaitham and Sino, and that they're all going to have a little bit to do in that sequence. I think it's an event. I'm not really sure. It seems like the large scale event for the patch or something. But yeah, so it was mostly the usual, story previews and so on for the most part. Didn't seem like there were that many quality of life updates this time. A little bit disappointing. Most of like fully 50% of the runtime was just devoted to Miliastra Wonderland, which has very little appeal for me because I'm not a creative person. I don't have much imagination. So
You guys want to do a little bit of light science on the side here?
depends.
It just basically involves you standing next to things with your various characters.
Am I going to explode?
No. I'm just wondering if this is a Nodcry thing, or if this is a Luna thing, or what? It's possible this is entirely a Flynn's thing.
I don't know what you're talking about, but okay.
Come over to where I am and take a look at this tombstone.
Oh, it's definitely a Flynn's thing.
It's a Flynn's thing?
Or it's the world
No,
boss.
this is the whatchamacallit, the bounty boss.
Yeah.
This is the bounty boss. Yes. Anyone can activate it, but I think there's a few it's a little bit different for Flynn's, so
It might
Is
be
that glowing
different for
for you
Flynn's.
guys?
There are some things that are. No, it's not glowing because we're not Flynn's.
Don't
yeah,
For
but
us,
that's a
we've
Flynn's
got.
thing.
don't
For
touch
us,
that.
we've got to. Don't touch that. No.
No, I'm
let's
not going
touch
to touch
that.
it because
Let's
that would
touch
be.
that.
Who touched it?
This guy's a monster. Just FYI.
I had
Stay
to
out of
bust.
his way
I
because
had
he'll
to.
bully you.
I had to bust out my best team last time to kill this guy.
And I'm running on a quarter built Flynn's
Yeah, you're dead.
who's about to get pushed. There we go.
You'll be fine. We probably can't kill this guy because you have to use a team that's cooked up to kill him, basically.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
use something with Night Soul reactions, or he's just not going to go down. Like we would have to go to my world and bust out the Lunar Blooms team to have a shot. Really?
But you,
I tore him
you
apart
touched him
effortlessly.
anyway.
I just put Skirk in. Skirk was like, put me in coach, and Skirk ripped him to pieces effortlessly.
So Little Lonnie's doing something.
The real problem, though, with Skirk is because Skirk is very much about get your time on target and make the most of it. It's very hard to not get hit, which is what's required in order to actually get
Not
your
die.
points for this. I haven't actually bothered to try and do the fight properly. I've just killed him because he was there because I didn't know who he was. But avoiding getting hit is the trick because Skirk wants to stay on top of the target and beat the crap out of them. I'm supplying you with shields and with healing, so you guys don't have any excuse to fall over.
Sharky has a cooldown.
I'm doing small numbers.
I just gave up that bit of Sharky DPS to GTFO out of that.
You don't want to stand in that thing. It's not good for your health. It's also one of those fights that drags on long enough, you've kind of got to watch your stamina. Because you need to be able to dodge at a drop of a hat.
Yeah, I'm actually running into that problem now.
Oh no.
Oop.
I got caught in it.
Whoopsie. My eyes off the boss and got smushed.
Sharky missed. That's phase 1.
Oh, that's just really
I
not
think they're going
nice.
to get significantly worse. This is where things usually go pear-shaped your first time fighting him. I was locked in combat for about 15 minutes with my Ningguang team and it was unable to close it out.
Okay, so Flint has 2 ults by the look of it.
Yeah, that's what I meant before. He's like Varisa. He has a baby ult and a big ult, and you never want to use the big ult. Yep.
Yeah.
I got one shot.
Oh, we all just got.
Yeah, he one shot.
He's a mean person.
He is very, very rude. And all I wanted to do was look at a shiny rock. Why do you do this?
Yeah, this is the penalty for looking at shiny rocks if you've never played D&D.
As long as you look at the shiny rock, as long as you don't try to, touch the shiny rock.
But you touched it.
I didn't touch it though.
No, he just made it glow. I went and poked it.
Yeah,
Oh, you
touched it.
I wanted Fern to see the consequences of curiosity.
Because I saw him eyeing that thing and had the character menu open, frantically trying to find a character that synergizes whatever we had on the field right now.
I was not going to touch it because bad things happen when you touch things like that.
He has a large health bar. You need to have high single target damage in your party and high AoE in your party and very good sustain. You basically need a perfectly rounded party in order to kill that guy.
Yeah, you need the you need either one of the broken meta DPS teams, or either the 2 new Nogcry variants, and your level 50 Flynn's while he's on type, he is that's a level 103 boss.
Yeah, he's a bit smushy for that. He effectively I had 1 hit point during that entire fight.
Yeah. But yeah,
well, so does any character that's not a tank. Like the only character I have that might be able to survive without a shield is probably Shalonen, because her defense is so high.
Yeah,
Shalonen is a Healy tank.
I had Nailu tank his hits because she has 78,000 HP.
But she could probably still only tank about 3.
Yeah, she can't sit there and take it, but she can take the stray hit.
As you got a way to patch it up afterwards.
That's what Coke.
You have to be able to kill him without taking that nuke to the face as well in order to get your points.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to steal your flowers then.
I haven't gone back to try it because I would need to work out exactly what ability they want me to definitely not get hit by, and then sacrifice all that time on target with Skirk. And basically, drawing that fight out is categorically a bad thing. You don't want that fight to take any longer than necessary, because it already takes a long time. If you draw it out, there's a chance that you'll screw it up and he'll just heal.
Yeah.
Because it's a fight that if you do it badly enough, he'll just heal to full and you have to keep going.
Yeah. You can't get off rhythm and you can't let the ads overwhelm you, otherwise you're just screwed. But, yeah, oh, you were saying before, Fern, yeah, Flynn's has two versions of his ult like Verisa does. You have the baby version that only eats some of your bar, and that's the one you always want to use.
Yeah, that's the one that procs in a combo.
Yeah. It's like, and you have one that does the big RP cinematic that may or may not do more damage than the baby one. For Verisa, it actually does less.
I'll have to have a look deeper
you,
in Flynn's.
You literally never ever want to push the button when you have when you don't have the baby ult up on Verisa.
In Skirk's case, you have to build for one or the other, basically.
Yeah.
Like if you build for, I usually use the on-field combo one rather than the nuke. The nuke is really good and really powerful, but you're basically left high and dry once it's done. So unless it's decisive, it's probably not a good idea to use it. And I'm not built for that one. I'm built for the sort of the on-field turn your damage to cryo and flail away one, which is more flexible to use against a variety of circumstances as well. But generally speaking, the people who have their like teams built to the nines will usually use the nuke one, because the nuke will be so powerful that it'll just end the fight.
Looking at the description here, the ability itself is roughly the same damage for Flynn's, whether you pop it, it's the big one or the little one. But if you've got the thunderclouds out on the field, which is what he spreads about, it's the pop that's different.
Yeah,
the little one seems to do more.
Because the on paper it will tell you that both of Verisa's ults do the same damage, but the baby ult does significantly more because you can only activate the baby ult when she has her glowy buff, which buffs her damage.
In the case of Flynn's, when you do the big one, it does what it calls a mid-phase electro burst, and when you do the little one, it does just a regular electro burst. So I am assuming that means it's bigger. Well, the mid-phase ones are weaker.
Oh, you need flowers for him, Fern?
I do. Flowers are everywhere.
They're by, where's the graveyard?
Way up north.
Yeah, that's where you want to go to get flowers. And there's some in the Frostmoon area, too.
Yeah, there was a bunch just down there. Basically, anywhere there's graves, there's flowers.
Yeah, I like all of his here. Bust out I know and run around grabbing them.
Stealing all my flowers.
Are you?
Not really.
No. What does the Alma need anyway? Does she need the flowers or does she need the other?
Alma uses moon orbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we both got all our moon orbs,
Also
so. I assume Vol's got all his moon orbs anyway.
My Llama's at max level, and I've got 228 spares.
Ghost here. Little ghosts.
I presume that Flynn's can talk to these guys.
Well,
I mean, in your world, probably not in my world.
Yeah, in my world, maybe.
Yeah, because the animals don't come talk to my
Llama
Llama
over here.
in your world.
This ghost over here just disappears if I go anywhere near it, but it's visibly different to the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one disappeared from me too. Run away. They don't like us.
But if I go in with Flynn's, that one disappeared. But the other one down the bottom didn't.
Yeah, I don't think the special character interactions happen for anybody that isn't the host, so I might roll to get the...
Basically here the ghosts don't disappear for Flynn's. That's all the interaction I've been so far. And the broken bits of gravestone are appearing.
Yeah, we don't see those.
Yeah. So Flynn's does graveyardy things.
Llama talks to animals. So I know have something?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
it would be
I mean, characters do react to the fact that she's Aino, but she doesn't have a very special thing, I don't think.
it would be fun if she could talk to like the Crumb Cake Legion bots.
She
Yeah, just
does
start
have
ordering them around.
she does have special interacts, but they're not like they're like just an extra conversation option type of thing.
Okay.
So yeah, it's kind of neat that they're doing a lot more of that now. Gives you more to go out and find.
Yeah. We were on Vols Week and we got distracted.
Yeah. Anyway, so Genshin's whatchamacallit preview was mostly Miliastra Wonderland, which I can see how it's going to be catnip for some people, but it's not really catnip for me. I'm just not a creative enough person. If I was, then I'd probably be an artist, but I'm not. It looks like a very if it performs the way they describe it, it looks like an impressive piece of kit, like from a sort of from the 1,000-foot view, that they have created this sort of like a modular game generation system that does not require any coding knowledge, but allows some extremely complex systems and interactions to be built using pretty much all the assets available in the game. It seems like there's going to be a certain amount of developed skill required to use it very. They're also supplying a lot of documentation and tutorials with it, so that I'm gonna just take a cough. Sweet, but this is becoming difficult.
Yeah, you sound like you're dying.
It's like this when I get sick for several weeks afterwards. If it makes it to my lungs, then it's just like, well, my lungs are going to be attempting jailbreak for the next few weeks, if not a month or two. But yeah, they're including a lot of documentation and a lot of tutorial material and that to help people get to grips with it, because it seems like it's an extremely powerful tool set. But it's also unlike a lot of other similar tool sets. Like I never played with anything like Mario Maker or that or similar products, so I don't really know if there's any similarities to other things on the market. But it does look interesting from like a technical standpoint. I don't personally have the creative chops to conceptualize anything interesting. So yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see what. Like, it's being marketed functionally as sort of like a mini game engine, right? And people can make games in levels for other people to play. But I'm kind of interested to see what other sort of conceptual uses that people haven't thought of yet, like even the developers haven't thought of, that people might devise in the future. Like that's the sort of thing that I think will be really interesting. This seems to be being implemented as not a standalone, but very nearly a standalone, in the sense that you kind of don't really bring anything with you from Genshin proper, nor can you really bring anything back to Genshin proper. Now, that's not strictly true, because the avatar that you use in Miliastra Wonderland, which is to say your mannequin, as they call it, which is your custom character with your custom design and custom outfit, you can apparently use that for combat in the overworld of Teyvat, but I would not expect it to be an effective thing to do, just a vanity thing to do. Like, even in the preview, they were emphasizing mainly that you would be able to go to various locales in Teyvat to take vanity screenshots of your character, your mannequin character, and that was the main purpose of bringing them into Teyvat. Now, they do have combat buttons from what we saw in the screenshots and video footage, but they're not going to make it competitive, obviously. But yeah, it's got a parallel monetization, so it has its own system of unlocks and its own battle pass and all of that type of stuff, as though it were a separate game. Although it seems I didn't really understand the description because I would just sort of like whizzed through it because it was not of huge interest to me. But it seems to imply that if you buy the Battle Pass for Genshin or for Astra Wonderland, you get a pretty significant discount off of buying the Battle Pass for the other one, if you're a person who wants to play both, since they're technically in the same game. But they are separate Battle Passes with separate progression tracks, separate ways of getting things, separate goals, and pretty muchly everything in Astra Wonderland is aimed squarely at vanity. So it's going to be pretty fertile ground for them to do things that they're usually a bit more hesitant to do, like crossovers and that sort of thing. Like doing a crossover outfit in Astra Wonderland is going to have way less IP implication than trying to graft them into Genshin. Because it's just, a vanity mode, essentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's going to be, like, they're going to have, like, patch seasons that orbit around patches where there'll be a bunch of different rewards available with variously themed outfits, and the Battle Pass will have its own themed outfits. There's also some kind of system for gifting vanity items you unlock to people on your friends list and so forth. And they did imply that it would support solo play to some extent, though I'm not quite sure exactly how that'll all fit together. Maybe you'll just be able to design solo challenge modules for solo players who don't want to deal with other people to play in, although they market it largely as sort of like a lobby-based multiplayer game. But yeah, that is something that they have clearly put a lot of effort into, but it seems like it's going to be a parallel development track, not in any way impinging on the content of Genshin proper, but rather being like very nearly a separate game with its own development team and its own systems and maintenance and that. And the two of them overlap, but Genshin will continue being Genshin in its own vein, regardless of all the others.
Yeah, might fiddle with it at some point.
I mean, there's going to be a lot of people, I think, who will find it really intriguing. I think it's just not my cup of tea. I lack that degree of creative capacity. You've got to sort of, have a brilliant idea that you need to put together.
I don't know. We might be able to find some fun mini games to play during the show or something. There, that's about all I really think could be useful for.
Yeah, well, like I said though, the real gold in these things is usually ideas that people have thought of that were never conceptualized before by the developers of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like ways of using it creatively. The same way that, we have League of Legends now because of things like StarCraft in the past. Like the things that people were able to force the map creator to do, completely unintended. But yeah. I don't think that there's a great deal else to mention because they were kind of splitting their attention quite a bit. The voice actors that EN got were Aether, Nefer, Flins, and Sino. As usual, Sino stole the show.
Alejandro is such a big mouth whenever he shows up.
But JP got they got Nilu, and who was the other one? I can't remember, but they were apparently very thrilled with who they got because it was very entertaining, and their color commentary was better as well. Like they commented that I think at one point they commented that Sandrone should stop trying to fight Reria because she always ends up looking cute and getting teased by Columbina instead of being successful. But
that sounds like good advice.
But yeah, so it was it was a show that was largely dominated by the Astra Wonderland content. Fern, are you signed up to get the emails after those so that you at least get the Primogems?
I am not actually. I really should be. It's one of those things I've meant to do but never did.
they're limited term codes. I don't know what the deadline is. Do you have an email handy, Aristeel, or anything? Because
no
if I
excuses,
try and open Windows,
vtw@gmail.com.
Oh, well, the codes are actually on the Genshin Impact website.
okay, we'll see if they're still able to be cashed in, because you shouldn't miss these. There's
Yeah.
quite a bit of previews for no work.
Usually, whenever I
Yeah.
see the pop up in game, I just go to like one of the mini websites and just search for date live stream code.
Yeah,
Well,
in
because
this,
because they
they're
are
in a little box
always
on the front of their website, so they should be
because they're
still
always held
valid.
in the middle of the night for me. Usually, by the time I wake up, the email's sitting in my inbox with links I can just click and claim. So, yeah. What else?
There we go. That's a bunch
So,
of primos.
yeah, it's quite a bit of primos. So you try not to miss them. There's every 42 days sort of thing, and this also applies to Star Rail and to ZZZ. It kind of applies to Honkai Impact 3rd as well, but it's a lot more challenging to cash those in because you have to do it from in-game. Anyway, fifthly, we're up to fifth. Wuwa. So Wuwa dropped 2.7. I think that's going to go up to 2.8 for the current version for Wuwa. So this is the second to last patch. So most of the stuff will be rounded off here, and the next patch will be continuity with the next region, I presume. I haven't had a chance to play any of the new content because I haven't even caught up with the old content yet. But I did do a bunch of the story last week, and I've got to say I'm having a whale of a time with it. Like, I know you eventually run out of story, and the experience changes when you are up to date with one of these games. But I'm having a really good time with the story. I more or less finished the Raguna arc of Renashita and moved on to the Septimont arc. And the Septimont arc has been very intriguing as well. And characters are very, very likable. Lupa is basically a female version of Lancer from Fate Stay Night. Like, she's completely like crazy battle hungry and uses like a red spear to fight with a lot of the time. She's very friendly, very dog-like. She does have a fluffy tail. She's of the rare animal girl who doesn't appear to have animal ears in any obvious way, but does have a tail, which is an unusual version. But yeah, it's I haven't quite worked out what exactly the story's doing right now. It's not for lack of them dropping hints. In fact, they drop so many hints that the possibilities open up a little bit too much. So I'm not really sure exactly where we're headed right now. But yeah, it's a really good time with it. I'm enjoying the content we've seen. I've been introduced to a few of the Septimont characters, although the only one that you've spent much time with at this stage is Lupa. Augusta and Yuno have appeared, and like, if they'd given what's her name, I can't remember who voices Rin Kanaweda. I can't remember. If they'd given her Rin's voice actor, they probably would have been sued.
You're just hitting a little bit too close there.
Yuno has all of Rin's sort of like personality quirks and mannerisms and that, and also her hairdo, and dresses almost exactly like Ishtar from Fate Grand Order.
Say Ishtar dresses is probably the wrong word.
Well, I've got to say something. But they have basically the same. They have the same outfit.
The same underpants.
And they're both feet people bait. They're both feet people bait.
Yes.
But yeah. Yuno's a bit more blessed in the boober department than Rin is, though. So yeah, they are. It seems to me like a pretty clear call out to that character, much in the same way that Augusta is very, very, very close to Mavwika in terms of like role and design. Like, she is the by right of strength, the leader of a nation that are focused around sort of gladiatorial type pursuits and that sort of thing, with the flaming red hair and all of the so forth. She's got more of a period piece outfit compared to Mavwika, who has a nonsensical outfit that doesn't fit with anything else in her region. But I think though that Augusta's I don't all of the Ian voice actors acting in Septimont is weird. I don't really know why they're trying so hard to give everybody a weird accent, but they are. Possibly because they're supposed to be. They decided that they were going to really persecute prosecute the ethnic flavor thing per region in the Woowa Ian voice casting compared to what other games do.
Everyone's just inexplicably American.
Well, yeah, they've all got weird accents, but the thing is, accents don't necessarily match the place. There's at least one character, I can't remember which one, in in the Huanglong area, who has a really thick Irish accent.
Why does that make any sense?
I'm reminded of Yu Hakusho dub and Jin the Windmaster and his call it an accent. We'll call it an Irish accent even, but it doesn't quite go all the way to describing what was done to that character.
Ireland would like to disagree.
But yeah, they're doing weird things with the Ian voice cast. I don't really want to comment on whether or not it's still good or bad in 2.x because I haven't really listened to it. Some of them seem okay. Some of them seem kind of jank. But yeah. The JP though, if you're going to make the Augusta Mavwika comparison, Mavwika's JP voice actor is doing a much better job than Augusta's one. In terms of being able to carry off a sense of power and gravitas, Augusta's voice actress is saying the right lines, but just doesn't have the sort of when the JP voice actress, gravitas, you could say that. When you hear Mavwika shout or speak in the Japanese voice track, you can hear it coming from the belly.
Yep.
When she shouts, you can hear her shouting with her whole respiratory system, whereas Augusta's just basically speaking loudly. It doesn't have that projection behind it. And that's because the JP voice actresses tend to be very professional compared to Ian ones. That's probably a product of bad direction. Though the other characters do seem to have their ups and downs and their strengths and weaknesses, but Augusta, I suppose, sticks out because she's such a direct. She's got such a direct parallel in Mavwika, and Mavwika can really belt the lines out, whereas Augusta just talks loudly.
Yeah.
So it's a serviceable job rather than a good one.
In English, Mavwika's lines in story and in combat none of them are bad, but they can often run the rail from mid to good.
Yeah.
But it's the big thing. The biggest thing with Mavwika and Skirk, for that matter, is both of them are, oh my goodness, Valley Girls in real life. Whenever you hear their real voices.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how you end up casting a Valley Girl as Skirk. That seems very strange.
I mean, they both seem like very nice, happy girls in real life, but oh boy, do they not sound very smart.
Yeah, you wouldn't listen to Mavwika's real life voice actor's real and think, ultra powerful flame goddess.
Yeah, especially not when those two are together in English. And they seem to be together a lot for the occasional stream and stuff. They just sound like two California Valley girlfriends having fun. And it's like,
that's probably why they put them together so often. Just because, hang on.
And y'all play who in the game?
What do you mean you're one of the shoutiest people?
The most deep, powerful non-Valley Girl characters possible. Both of you. Okay.
Flowers do I need? I need to go smack a duck for a bit.
Is it knuckle duckle time?
Yeah, I think it might be knuckle time.
Get the cow.
Beat up a
Cow.
duck.
Supply the elemental accessories then.
Yes, I'll.
But yeah, the story has been very enjoyable. I'm looking forward to playing more of it. Finding out what's really going on. Generally speaking, everything after 2.x has been really impressive. It's I'm continuously bewildered at the sheer size of the difference between the early version and the current version of that game. It's crazy, the difference.
Yeah, I'm hoping that, like, for me, I want to play Wilbur. There's a lot of mechanics in there I really like. The voice acting for that opening act is abysmal in English, so
Yeah.
hopefully they address that. But I'll get back to Wilbur one day. I am adulting, unfortunately.
Oh, we have no healer, and I'm out of food.
I can heal if I can survive. That's a big if. Nope.
Knuckle.
We don't have.
I'm actively draining your health, and we have no healer.
There. Bopped it.
I could loot me some knuckle duckle. Raising Ino with.
Might want to get that.
Because I know
yet.
I want to get that Barbara out, Fern.
Yeah.
Remember
the blooms are doing more harm than good, I think.
Well, these blooms are getting electrified, so that's not the. Although it doesn't heal him.
I need to level up Barbara again.
All right, you still need to level up your Barbara.
I gotta put another 10 levels into Barbara. She needs everything.
Mushes. You need false
Mushes, Oceanid, Blue Gems. I don't want to do Oceanid.
Oceanid.
Let's not worry about that now.
All right, we got to teleport away, don't we?
Away.
Yeah, we gotta go away. Oceanid, I can do Oceanid on my own with no issue. It's just Oceanid is just such a terrible fight.
Well, if you got Flynn's now, you're gonna want that Barbara. And we always want that Barbara.
Everyone wants Barbara.
Like, there's just so many situations where even if you're not healing, we just want things wet.
Yeah. I need things to be moist. Go, Darko!
And I need Barbara to fix it.
There you go. Barbara fixed it.
I need Barbara to fix it harder.
achievement for that one. My fragile resin supply is built up again. I should really spend some of that.
Yeah, I'm just blowing it willy-nilly.
I exhausted mine farming gear for Llama.
Yeah.
I spent quite a bit farming gear for Llama, but it didn't help.
I've
I
got
got
most of those slots on Flynn's with 5 stars on them now. They don't necessarily have the right stats, but you know, baby steps.
try to aim for the right primary stat. That's where you're at right now.
Yeah.
Far enough away.
Just go to the statue. I'm a climate. I guess I'm not.
Ducky's back.
Anything else for your week, Vol?
Right, so yeah, not really. 2.7's first new character is Galbrana, who everybody says is some of her. She's got some voice lines that are named after some of Dante's moves or something like that. But I haven't investigated her directly. She's a fairly standard sort of shonen anime trope character in that she's like sort of pseudo possessed by something which sort of grumbles at her and tries to get her to use its power so that it'll put her in its thrall type of thing.
Oh, yeah, that old chestnut.
But yeah, I don't know anything about her story yet because I haven't met her in the game. I'm still a bit behind on progress of the story at this stage. But yeah, I don't have anything else really.
Okay. On to my week as soon as the ducky is dead.
Yep.
No, the ducky is trying to put me down.
Trying to kill his balls.
Ducky punch.
Dang it, I just not teleport, but dropped a random marker somewhere.
Yeah. So yeah. So you're just going to jump straight into Time Stranger?
I'm going to do something else first that I desperately want to talk about that I do need to know.
All right.
So Trails in the Sky, first chapter. I talked about going through the story last week. I finished it, and did the Nightmare Mode playthrough. So Trails in the Sky is not a very long game. Number one. First chapter anyway. Second chapter is quite long. The first chapter is not that bad, and because this is a very faithful remake, that length is mostly intact. There aren't too many new quests. Mostly just wants to smooth the transition over into second chapter a bit better, introduce Annalise a bit earlier as a proper character. Things like that. So the last dungeon on normal mode, not very challenging, but it's, if you can, once you figure out how to break the combat system, you know how to break the combat system. But that's to be expected. The last dungeon is a 1-to-1 remake, so if you got lost the first time, you're going to get lost again. The Louvet fight, or Lawrence fight, as he's under disguise as, is still really rough. Not too bad on normal. I managed to get it in a few attempts. It's radically different than it was in the first chapter the first time. And I'll get into why when I talk about Nightmare Mode. But basically, they added new mechanics that make him just as hard, kept his stats just as overjacked as they are, but instead of a hard enrage, he has a soft enrage. I'll explain what that is when I talk about the Nightmare Mode playthrough. So, all in all, it's really good. The added cinematography of the 3D models adds a ton to the game and makes it just way more comfortable to play with.
Can't kick someone properly in the face with 2D sprites.
Yeah. So aside from the localization shoes I had, with them just disregarding what's already been established, I think it's a pretty great remake. Everything's top tier.
Did they continue throughout the game to call it liberal?
Yes, and it never stops. They also, when Joshua says Louvet's name, now there's never been an official pronunciation for Louvet, but Louvet's what stuck. For several games, it was pronounced differently every time because it's such a nonsensical spelling of his name. It's Loewe. And because nobody could figure out how to flip and say this, they just started making it consistent and calling him Louvet. I don't remember what they said, but it was nothing like Louvet.
Oh, Lowy?
Yeah. Like, I've heard Low, I've heard Louis, but eventually the English cast director just stuck with Louvet for the entirety of the later Cold Steel games onwards. And usually they would just replace the name with Leonhardt instead, last name.
Just to sidestep the whole issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because nobody could pronounce that name. So there's a few quirks like that still, but otherwise it's a very good translation of the original story. You get the entirety of first chapter, and the scenes they add help a ton. The very end of the game where Joshua meets Wiseman 1v1, and they have their talk for the stinger is incredibly well done. And his goodbye to Estelle on the rooftop of the castle is even more dramatic than it was in the pixel version, which was great. I loved it. Makes it feel much less abrupt and more like the information he just got stuffed back in his brain is genuinely screwing with him, and he doesn't know how to process this. Because if, for those spoilers for a 25, 30-year-old game, however old first chapter is, like, Joshua gets all his memories back at the end, but he doesn't lose his memories as Joshua for the 4 years he spent with Estelle. And so he is having a lot of trouble coming to terms with the fact he used to be a monstrous killing machine, and he now has been able to live a nice, happy life with the Brights for the last 4 years. Now, it's not all his fault that he was a killing machine. Wiseman kind of did more than help. But you'll find out exactly how much Wiseman helped in second chapter. Which Fall has not played yet, so I'm deliberately avoiding second chapter spoilers. But yeah, that's all really good. Gameplay-wise, even with the revamp of the combat system, to be more in line with the Daybreak system, which is much less broken, and just less broken crap everywhere, it's still very easy to break a Trails game. But they've done a few things to help ease it. The first is action advance is very expensive, and very few characters can do it. You either need to spend half of a character's EP to do it with Clock Up EX, or you have to have Shara in your party and blow like 80 CP on it. And she can't action advance herself. So it's you cannot abuse that with delay to make the boss never get a turn. Delay is it's kind of a core part of Joshua's kit. It wouldn't be a faithful remake if you took delay completely out of the game. So they found a way though to make it so that delay doesn't totally ruin the game, and that is they haven't made the bosses immune to it, but they made them have a very high chance just to say no to delay. You won't be able to delay their turn. It's more like a bonus effect you can sometimes get from Joshua's moves and like 1 or 2 spells. And there just aren't that many skills that have it. And on Nightmare mode, to get the full Chivo list, you have to do it on Nightmare mode plus 50. Plus 50 means there's plus 50 levels added to every enemy. You finish the game at level 50, and the final boss will be level 100 on the next playthrough. And he has a bonus phase. Now, this still doesn't matter for the first 3 chapters, really, until the end of the 3rd chapter. Now, for those unaware, there's the prologue, 3 chapters, and the finale. For the first chapter, there aren't that many chapters to the game. So for the prologue, chapter 1, chapter 2, and most of chapter 3, it does not matter. You'll be blitzing through the enemies just fine and can totally ignore defense and go full-bore offense and blow everything up. You might hit a few hiccups, like the Act 2 boss with the dogs in Ruan, but a couple attempts of figuring out how to space yourself properly, you can still go full-bore offense on those. And you have Chloe with you. The real problem starts at the end of Chapter 3. And they have figured out how to make this combat system, which is incredibly breakable in 50 different ways, an actual challenge. And I'm not kidding when I say it took like 3 hours to get to this point from the start, skipping the cutscenes and zipping through. When I got to this part, I was worried I would have to roll back a save by quite a few hours because I did not have the levels until I figured out what the game was asking me to do. So, you don't fight groups of humanoid enemies. You fight one in Ruan that can be rough, but it's not that bad. They're not super stat jacked yet. It's just the gangsters inside the warehouse. But any humanoids, or human enemies, rather not humanoid, but human enemies that are in a group of the same faction in combat together, if you are in attack range of one that is not your attack target, it gets an attack of opportunity on you whenever you attack. And normally this is just chip damage on normal mode. Like, it's them doing a basic attack. That's not that big a deal. It's going to wear you down a little bit, but it's not going to kill you. On Nightmare mode plus 50, that's going to do approximately half of a character's HP. And they love, with these Jaeger groups, to pair them up, 2 melee fighters, 2 gunners. Which means you're almost always in attack range for one of them. So every offensive action you take has that character getting counterattack for half of their HP. Now, if that wasn't bad enough, their actual auto attacks will almost guarantee 2-shot you. So to get around this, there's a concept that's existed since the cross-spell games in these games for just how much you can break them, called evade tanking. And what you would do is you would get a character to 100% dodge chance and just have them dodge everything. And just put the hate up buff on them, stick them in a corner, and let the boss do nothing. That's one of the many ways to break the game. I usually avoided doing this because it's so broken.
It's a bit cheesed.
You have to do a variant of this in Nightmare plus 50, or you will not kill any bosses at the end of Chapter 3 onwards. And here's the real kicker.
Okay.
There is no overpowered crap to get you to a base 100% dodge chance. You can't do it. You can maybe get to like 70 if you cram everything with the highest dodge percent without buffs. You cannot get a base 100% chance to dodge. It's just not happening. So what you have to do is you have to get yourself to 50% dodge on everybody and then maintain the foresight buff. Now, they've added a lot of effects to some of the spells that provided foresight to make this much easier to do, but it becomes something you have to manage. You have to keep Sylph and Wing up all the time, or use Chloe's Craft that gives everybody foresight. Chloe's Craft lasts 4 turns, and Sylph and Wing lasts 5. So it's something that's always there, but you have to keep it up. Now, you also have to keep in mind, you need to still do damage to the boss, and you can't give up all your defense because of the aforementioned counterattacks. And arts can't be dodged. Well, they can be dodged, but they have a separate dodge chance called Arts Evade, but the highest you can crank that up to is 20. Like, you cannot reliably dodge arts. They're going to hit. And you have to really try to get it above 20. And by then, you probably don't have enough other stats left over to get your evade up to 50, which you absolutely need. Now, I figured all this out on my own, but because I played Trails games before. But people going into Nightmare Mode plus 50 are going to run into a brick wall at the end of Chapter 3 if they don't know what's coming and know how to break this game. The game does warn you before you press that plus 50 button that this is not for the faint of heart, and you better know how to break this game before you push this button. And for the first 3 chapters, I'm like, okay, that's obviously just, the game developers being overly cautious. No. No, they're not.
No, they mean it.
So I made notes on everything you need for all of Chapter 3 onward, into Chapter 3 onwards. You need to figure out the aforementioned physical evade, getting everybody to 50, and then how to maintain the Foresight buff, so that they have 100% physical evade. Oh, and also some bosses and mini-bosses just have undodgeable physical attacks, so you need to be able to tank those too. So you still have to keep enough defense for that. You will also need access to, for the boss's S-crafts, if it has one, access to the Earth spell that makes you invulnerable for exactly 1 hit. Otherwise, you're going to have to just run everybody else away and let a character die. and res them and hope you can catch up. And that's really hard to do, because when you res them, they're out of CP. You need everybody to have as high a speed as humanly possible. So everybody needs the Action 3+ quartz. And the best speed boots you can give them without falling below 50% evade. You need to keep everybody topped up at 100% at all times. Otherwise, they may not survive an art spell thrown at them, because arts hit really hard and are generally stronger in these games than crafts, in the early games than crafts. And you need to, while you're doing all this, you have to maintain your EP and CP. You cannot go into deficit. You have to either use items, like liberally use items, or hope for good turn bonuses and manipulate the bonuses in a way that ensures you stay topped off. Because if you run out of gas, you're in trouble. And because the other thing you have to do is, you have to do enough damage to beat the bosses, because they all have a form of soft enrage. And that's because of a specific mechanic I'll talk about now as I describe Louvet. So you get to Louvet, then under the guise of Colonel Lawrence, with the Queen at the top of the castle, or at the top of Villa, or wherever. No, it's at the top of the castle. With Estelle, Shara, and Chloe. You do get to mess with all their equipment before the fight, so you're not totally going in with your pants down. And you need to be ready for a monster of a boss fight. Everything he does one-shot you. You can't get touched by anything. You have to interrupt every single art he casts and have enough speed to do it, and you have to stay with a 100% dodge chance. And he actually has plus 10% accuracy just as a kicker, so you actually need about 60% dodge chance on everybody, otherwise he's going to get stray hits in. So you have to do that, and his mechanics that they changed, they gave him an ability he gains in his later fights in second chapter to summon a clone of himself. So now you have 2 Louvets. And for people that have not fought Louvet on the harder difficulties in Trails, it's probably the hardest boss fight in turn-based RPG for a main story mandatory fight. Now, you're allowed to lose for a reason. The game will just keep going. But if you want to beat it, you're in for a ride. And my pride wouldn't let me not beat it. This took 7 hours, by the way.
Jeez.
Of 2 attempts. Or two broken up sessions.
There is pain, you know. You've
That's
encountered pain.
Yeah, it's what I live by. I thrive on it. So you have to do all that. Louvet is the first boss with an S-craft. And he will use it everywhere, whenever he feels like. So on top of all the other buffs you need to maintain, anybody that does not have the one hit of invulnerability is in danger of dying to the S-craft. So you've got, what I did was I had Estelle be the one to have the S-craft, or the one hit invulnerability up buff, and gave her Arts Reigns Plus so that she could hit the whole team with it even when they're off in Narnia. And oh boy, did I keep Chloe in Narnia. I kept her nowhere near that boss, because Chloe could not be the one to get hit. So I actually have a picture. I'll post it in live show chat of how that was going. Got it somewhere around here. Somewhere around here. Don't know where I put it. But oh, I know where I can look. Bear with me. I know I'm not crazy. There we go. There's a picture. So I have Chloe in a costume that I unlocked for New Game Plus, but she's in her princess outfit. But and with blonde hair because reasons. But yeah, keeping Chloe in Narnia as far away as she could possibly get is how we did that. And all you got to do with her is find a way to drop as many rocks on this guy's head for about 50 turns as you can, while still maintaining all her buffs and healing. Because you will take stray hits from spells and undodgeable attacks, and you can't not be at full HP. But she is your main source of damage, so you got to find a way to drop as many rocks on this guy's head as possible. Shara mostly is there acting to support maintaining the foresight buff and action advancing people, and occasionally she will throw a craft out to steal Luve's turn bonus. And yeah, so this all sounds rough, but not too bad. Except for the mechanic that makes everything really, really effing hard. That's called Rage Mode. Every boss in the game can go into Rage Mode after 50% health. And they can do it whenever the heck they want. Rage Mode has a short internal cooldown, so they can't back-to-back it. But it guarantees all of their attacks hit and buffs all of their stats up by 2 stages. Now, for Luve, he one-shots you anyway, so the damage ups aren't that big a deal. The problem is his speed up. So you've got to all cancel that immediately with the debuff, and I had Shara set to do that. Just be on the lookout for that.
Possibly go wrong having someone so monstrous get more turns.
I know, right?
With undodgeable attacks. When he already one-shots you. So this was rough. And anytime he went into Rage Mode, basically what I had to do was purge the buffs immediately. And spread everybody out so that he would hopefully change targets. I couldn't get them too far away. So Shara and Estelle would have to split evenly away from him, and Chloe would have to be off in Narnia. And hope that he runs between the two of them and whacks their invulnerability shield off, and the Rage Mode ends, because it only lasts 2 turns. Now, he'll do it again, but it gives me time to prepare for it again. And this was just a really, really fun and very, very hard encounter. It took me 7 hours in a turn-based game that I know how to break over my knee normally. So they actually found a way to do it. Just by putting very strict gearing restrictions on that assume you know how to break these games. Like the Mad Lads came up with a difficulty level that is able to challenge people that know how to break the game. And that is commendable, especially in a turn-based game. And with the way turn bonuses work, the RNG is just high enough that you can devise strategies and change them on the fly based on what bonuses pop up and around, and which ones you want to steal from Luve, and which ones you don't care if he gets, and which ones your characters get naturally. If you want to double any up on a character, or maybe you want to regen more CP this round, or he's really burned, and the different attacks he chooses, there's just enough RNG that each fight attempt plays out radically differently, and it tests your ability to adapt to changing circumstances and manage risk. And it's a really tough fight, but it's a really fun and rewarding fight if you can do it. It is also hard as nails, though. You're going to get your butt kicked in, just like you did in the first game. So you don't actually have to beat him, though, if you're not a masochist. If you love yourself and don't enjoy pain, the fight will just end when your party dies, and the game will continue. You just don't get the bonus cutscene. And you lose some dialogue in second chapter. where he acknowledges that you gave him a run for his money on top of the castle. Even if you do beat him, he still wins in the end. So he just he pieces out after stalling you at the top of the castle with the queen, and goes to help Richard do the back half of his plan. So yeah, the Mad Lads did it. The last boss was also really hard and a bit of a wall, although a 3-hour wall after Louve ain't that bad. Anything after Louve ain't that bad. So while it was tough, it did not stick in my brain as much as Chloe dropping rocks on Louve's head for 8 hours. So that was the entire first half of my week. And I heartily recommend it. And usually I don't recommend turn-based anything for difficulty, but the later half of the first chapter is genuinely fun. Figuring out how to gear the characters appropriately, finding out ways to abuse the bonuses and all that, and working with the RNG it gives you, because you have the ability to manipulate it as much as you want. You could play it super safe. You're just going to have to deal with more and more rage modes once they're below 50%. So the boss will it acts as a soften rage. It will eventually drain your resources to nothing. But you can manage most of the rest of the risk factor if you choose to play it really safe. But yeah, it's just a good time. I enjoyed going through it, and it is so rare these days. As somebody that's played turn-based RPGs literally forever, since I was a kid, since the NES and the Super Nintendo, for them to pop out with any mechanics that can make me actually stop and noggin jog. Like even Star Rail, it just comes down to, do I have the output to do this for its harder fights? But it's very rare one makes me have to stop and think and adjust during each attempt because of the factors in play, all of which are to some degree in my control. I just have to figure out how to do it right, making it a big fun puzzle to put together. And when Chloe, when it came down to basically the last turn, because I was going to die if he got another round, Chloe needed to high roll her diamond dust, and Estelle, that's the screenshot of right before it happened. I needed to high roll that diamond dust and hope Estelle high rolled her S break to get that last 20k off of him. And there's a feature where your party members can sometimes buff your characters with bonus damage or effects, if and each one buffs different things. Shara can buff arts damage, but it's really rare, and it happened to proc then. So dropping rocks on his head did just enough to put him in range of Estelle's S-Craft at 140 CP and kill Louvain, which was a great finish to the fight. So do recommend. And if you are a masochist, the plus 50 modifier is definitely a lot of fun. Would not recommend it unless you're a diehard fan and play, especially if you know how to break the Trails games and have played JRPGs in general for a while, because it assumes you have. They aren't kidding with that warning when you push that button.
You're going to get whopped.
Yeah, it is Whop City. So yeah, that's Trails. Do recommend if you want, if you're interested in the Trails more for the story, I would wait till second chapter comes out, because there will probably be a bundle deal, and the first game will at least be on discount.
Most likely.
Because when you beat the game, there is, even though it's not been formally announced, it's been formally announced, because there's a stinger trailer at the end for second chapter.
Nice.
So yeah.
Do we know how far they're going to go with the remake project?
They probably won't do the Cold Steel series. People like Cold Steel, but it's more like Cold Steel brought in a different audience than the Sky Games did, and the Sky Games are just so old now.
They are.
It can take a bit to get into them. I still think the classics are worth playing. I think the localization in general makes better decisions for tone and emphasis in the original games, but you just can't beat the cinematography you get, and just the full voice acting with these voice actors now having played these characters for a bit and really knowing their roles. It just works way better with the remake. So for new players, I think it's worth it to check out the remake instead. I think you'll have a better time too because there's just more quality of life crap.
All right.
So yeah, that's the end of my Trails journey until Trails to the Horizon comes out early next year, and whenever second chapter comes out. So, the thing that I have titled the show after. Hey,
Yep.
hey,
Digimon Twin Finger.
Yep. Hey, Digimon, monster friends to the boys and girls.
Yeah.
So, Digimon
So,
Time Sewer.
Yes, Time Sewer is indeed correct.
For the
I
first
want to get one quick gripe out of the way before we get going.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the DLC option for the musics.
Yeah.
There is a music pack to get all the anime soundtracks, so you can put them in the game wherever you want, and they cost $30 for it.
Yeah, they want a whole silk song for it.
They want a whole silk song for it.
Yep.
And that is really annoying.
Yeah.
But,
it's Scamco.
Let's just get that one out of the way right from the get-go.
Yeah, it's typical Scamco behavior.
Yeah.
You're gonna get that stuff. But yeah, that is obnoxious. But yeah, it is Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory. The next one, bigger, better, with prettier character models and better graphics and more diverse environments. Yeah, and less Vita jank.
Less clopping around in blue corridors.
Yeah, the Vita was a good device for a lot of games, but it had limitations.
Yes, it did.
Like I'm not a.
You play through Cyber Sleuth and you can really see where they've kind of had to compromise just to get the game to go on the Vita.
Yeah. So, did you play Cyber Sleuth or Hacker's Memory?
Yep, I finished Cyber Sleuth and got through maybe about half of Hacker's Memory.
Yeah, I like Hacker's Memory more. It's more character focused story though. So
yeah, and they do knock a few of the rougher edges off Cyber Sleuth with it too.
Yeah, I think I just think the story in general in Hacker's Memory is put together a bit better. But the stories games are the modern stories games, and when I say modern stories, I mean Cyber Sleuth onward. So the three games in that line, if you include Time Stranger, are basically Digimon's attempt to finally give in and say, "Fine, we'll compete with Pokemon." But we're gonna do it in a very Digimon way.
Yes.
So
we're gonna have a plot. Oh shit, we've just surpassed Pokemon.
Yeah, so it does not lose the DNA of the older stories games, where it was very plot focused. The biggest difference is your protagonist doesn't have a partner. Not other Digidestin that you run into in Hacker's Memory, Cyber Sleuth, and presumably in Time Stranger,
yes.
or the equivalent of, will have partner Digimon. They'll be partnered with one or two Digimon. But you, the protagonist, are not. You're not shackled to one Digimon, and you're incentivized due to your special nature in all three games to collect as many as possible to use to solve the problems at hand.
You slot.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, even in Time Stranger, like you run into one character pretty much straight away who does have a partner.
Yeah.
Even though that partner spends more time with you than her, but never mind that.
I'll say I think we're her Digimon partner.
Yeah.
Digimon's just along for the ride.
He's just kind of there.
Yeah. So I am not even trailered myself on this game. I did not follow it for spoilers at all. I knew I would play it eventually. But the hype around it pushed me over the edge to pick it up because people were saying a lot of good things about it.
Yeah. Now, granted, there hasn't been a whole lot launched this week except for Ghost of Yotai and no. Let's not touch that.
Yeah, no. But yeah. So when Digimon switches to the monster collecting portion of the subgenres when it comes to monster games and directly competes with Pokemon, it's got a major edge over Pokemon, a huge one. And that, you know how if you're in Pokemon, you catch one Rattata, unless you're going for MLG stats on it and trying to catch the perfect one to build the best Raticate or whatever, you catch one, it's going in the box and you're done with it. You never want to see another Rattata again.
until the post game or the late game where you take that Rattata out and you take a Ditto out and you do unspeakable things.
Yeah, but in the wild, you never want to encounter another Rattata. They're
No, you'll
just
bop it once and that's it.
they're just there for a minuscule amount of EXP and to waste your time.
Looking to use Zubat.
In Digimon, the way Digivolutions work is they get broader and broader the further you get from the baby stage. So you go baby, in training, sometimes in training 2, rookie, champion, ultimate, mega. And sometimes the megas have alternate or blast forms that also progress a little bit further beyond mega, but are not a full stage evolution.
In a handful of cases, up to ultra.
I'm pretty sure those all got retconned to mega.
They probably did. For the most part, they put into megas anyway.
Yeah, because it's hard. It's a hard and fast rule that you don't go above mega. If you have a blast mode or a crimson mode or something that used to be classified as a league higher, they've gone back and clarified, because it was always supposed to just be mega, just a slightly stronger mega. Because stages in Digimon are not like evolutions in Pokemon. It's not linear. The power gain is exponential at each stage.
Yeah, Pokemon it's additive.
Yeah, in
whereas Digimon is multiplicative.
Yeah, so the difference between an ultimate and a champion is huge.
Yeah,
and the difference between a mega and an ultimate is also huge. Now, the game tempers this somewhat by focusing more on raw stats and levels. So your champions can take on ultimates and sometimes megas with the help of other megas and a full team of multiple of them. But that's when you run into the ones that actually matter and are not Mook mini bossmon, yeah, those megas are just going to kick your butt.
They're just going to rearrange them.
Yeah.
Anyway, differences going up from before we touch on the plot.
Oh, I wanted to get to my point there. The reason I was setting up the branching and growing lines of Digimon is this means one rookie, when you encounter it, let's say you find a Gabumon. Well, that Gabumon can follow the traditional Gabumon main line, which goes to Garurumon and Were-Garurumon and Metal Garurumon, and can DNA Digivolve with War Greymon to become Omnimon. Okay, that's the standard Omnimon Garurumon line. But that same Gabumon can turn into 4 or 5 other champion level things that all can turn into 4 or 5 different ultimate things. They can all split off into 2 to 3 more mega level things. So when you encounter a Gabumon, you're like, oh, I can use another Gabumon to go down a different line. It's not when you see a Rattata at all. It's like, oh yeah, I can use another Gabumon. We'll see what we can turn this one into.
Yeah. The thing with Digimon is not only if you pick up some of the big name Digimon lines, like usually the protagonists from the anime, Agumon's pretty much the poster child for it. They won't necessarily have one mainline evolution. Agumon, I think, has 6 at this point.
Oh yeah, there are some that have 7 or 8 from rookie to champion.
Yeah, Gabumon I think has 3.
No, Gabumon's got 5.
Yeah, so they're all the main evolution line, but they're all different evolution lines. Oh, that's not counting the random things they can go off and just evolve into completely differently.
Yeah, you're turning your Salamon into Mud Frigimon or whatever. Not exactly the Godamon to Ajawoman line, but it's there.
Yeah, depending on which series, Agumon, you got Greymon line, you've got the Rise Greymon line, you've got the Tyrannomon line, and on and on and on.
Yeah, basically any dinosaur Digimon can get to or from Agumon some way.
Yeah. What's it, Brachio Greymon? That's a weird one, that one.
Oh, the funky long neck Brontosaurus Greymon?
Yeah, that one.
The funny looking one?
I actually used that towards the end of Cyber Sleuth.
I cannot picture what you're describing at all.
I'll find a picture.
Yeah. That thing is tanky.
He is a very thick boy.
He's a chunky boy.
Brachiomon. There we go. It's literally Greymon, but a freaking long neck.
A sauropod.
Yeah. Hang on.
Greymon was a sauropod.
Give me a gallery wiki so I can get a better picture. There we go.
When you compare it to Pokemon, most will have the standard 2-stage evolution. Some will have a variant evolution, or you got Eevee, which goes its own direction as well. But that's it. You might get a Mega in there depending on the game.
That
Yeah.
thing looks like a joke.
It looks.
Yeah.
It doesn't just look like it. It sounds like it and walks like one too.
Yep, it doesn't even fit on the damn screen half the time. But
It looks like it was designed as a joke. It does not look like it's a serious design.
there's a lot of Digimon like that. They're just weirdly designed.
Yeah, you get some
And the
real
thing
funny
is,
ones.
some of the more weird ones tend to be the most effective.
Yeah, because they give them all kinds of weird, quirky moves.
Yeah. Either they're really effective or they're useless. And there's not a whole lot in between for the weird ones.
Yeah. So now the other thing about monster collecting in this game is once you finish digivolving a Digimon, if you're going for just the collection angle with that particular Digimon, you're not done with it once you hit it at Mega. Yeah, you could keep it and save it in your box. Maybe you want to use it for combat later. You can put some stats on it, or you could de-digivolve it, and you can walk it back to a point in its evolution tree, or whatever point in its various trees, working backwards to go down a different branch and get all the Digimon from that line too.
Yeah. You're going to want to do this even just especially with your Battlemons early on.
Yeah, because
when you de-evolve it, it does reset it back to level 1 at most of the stats.
Yeah. It does reset it back to level 1. It takes a slight stat hit, but it keeps a chunk of the stats it had up to a cap. And its level gets reset to 1, so you can level it up again. And more importantly, its talent goes up. What used to be called the ABI stat in Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory is now called talent. And
Yes.
this dictates two things. One, it dictates growth rates for the stats, so you get more stats on level up. And two, it increases their level cap.
Yes.
And this is important because to go down certain Digimon paths in the evolution tree, you need to meet certain stat thresholds. So if you got a Digimon that only has like a level cap of 20 and it's not going to meet the speed stat it needs to go down one of the lines you want to go down, well, you got two options. One, you can stick it in the farm and have it go run on a treadmill for 90 minutes like I did with my Wormmon to turn into Stingmon. Or you can take the little guy and de-digivolve him, and then level him up again in whatever stage you de-digivolved him to, and then level him back up, and he'll gain levels in proportion to the levels he lost. He does not gain any de-digivolving usually, but those levels get banked as levels to add to his talent score later. Now, they don't add 1-to-1. Like, I think it's like every 2 levels that get banked on de-digivolution will be re-added when you re-evolve.
I think there was a curve to it.
Yeah, and this has to do with what level you level up that Digimon after you de-digivolve it, and the level it was when it first de-digivolved, and you don't get it until you digivolve it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, you de-digivolve it, level it up to some level that you feel comfortable with, and then digivolve it again, and watch the talent number go up, and now with the talent number going up, its growth rates and its max level go up. Which means you can, in turn, get more stats from level ups and hit that stat threshold.
Yeah, I assume pure talent thresholds are still a thing. They were in the previous games.
I have not seen them, but I can't even see the Mega Lines yet because I'm still a champion.
Yeah, there was a select few rookies that needed them. Like Hackmon needed them, I think, in the original. In Cyber Sleuth.
There does not seem to be ABI score or talent requirements this time. But there do seem to be hard agent ranks for, like, you can't take Tanamon and turn it into Lucimon without being like agent rank 5.
Yeah.
So agent rank just naturally increases as you do side quests and story quests, by the way.
Yeah, that's one of the big differences so far is the whole agent rank, agent talent thing.
I'm kind of glad they did this because if you were autistic enough, you know, walking in to go fight a bunch of rookies with War Growlmon and you know, Metal Garurumons and all that, that's a bit much. And you could do that.
So yeah, it lets you get like assign talent points to buff up your mons based on their personality type or just in general, and unlock new agent abilities. But primarily what it does is it locks your power level behind the story.
Yeah. So the agent ranks are also helpful for meeting those stat thresholds. The personality of your Digimon will say it's tied to specific stats, and it does affect those stat growth rates, but it's not that significant in the long run. The bigger thing is when you go into your agent talent tree, you can select a personality bracket like valor or wisdom or whatever,
Yeah,
and
valor, wisdom, was it
philanthropy and
philanthropy and
amicability.
courage? Oh no, yeah, courage. Because underneath them, they've also got the four different names, and that gets a
Y-
little. I'm not sure why they did that, but anyway.
Yeah. So inside your agent tree, you can actually pick just raw stat buffs of X% of Digimon's base to help you meet stat thresholds. If you got like, let's take that Wormmon example again. Say it was an amicable Wormmon, and I needed that speed stat. You just needed about 15% more speed. I could go into my agent tree and spend talent points from completing side missions and main missions on plus like 15% speed for all amicable Digimon, and get enough points to Digivolve to Stingmon.
Yeah.
So that's what the real benefit of the personalities are, and they do give you passives in combat. That's more important than the stats as well. But you can get away with mostly ignoring the personality mechanic. It seems like, at least for now. Those combat passives may become much more necessary later. I don't know. I'm playing on hard, so I'll let you know when I get there.
I'm also playing on hard. Also, by the way,
Play on hard.
missed opportunity.
Oh yeah, missed
They
opportunity.
Just with the names of the higher difficulties.
Oh, they didn't. Yeah, they
Yeah.
could have done. Yeah,
They
champion,
coulda, but they didn't.
champion, ultimate, mega. Yeah, they could have, but they didn't. But yeah, also yeah, play on hard. These games are not very difficult to begin with, and if you want the bosses to have any teeth whatsoever, play on hard.
Yeah, play on hard. It's not like what was it, New Order, Digimon World New Order, where hard only exists to waste your time.
Mm-hmm.
Where all it does is just multiply the amount of grinding you do. That's all it does.
Yeah, you can. It's not that bad to grind in this game. There are purchasable grind DLCs you can get, but you honestly don't need them.
No, don't buy those.
But the game lets you go at 5 times speed in combat, and you can set auto battle. And as long as the way Digimon work is each Digimon has a signature skill, which has more raw power than the skills you'll probably have access to than any of them at that level, and usually have a bonus effect as well, or be AoE and have raw power, stuff like that. It'll be unique, and the Digimon will call out the big dumb attack name when it does it now in English, which I love. I love it to death. You have no idea how happy it makes me to hear Gomamon go marching fishes, or Ikakumon to go harpoon torpedo.
Where is he getting those fishes from?
He spawns
magic.
Yeah, he spawns the water that the fishes come out of.
Yeah, he just
yeah, but where are they when they're not there?
In
internet.
Yeah.
And why is it so devastating to be hit in the face by a small fish?
It's honestly not.
I mean,
the grand scheme of things, it's really not.
I mean, he hit that War Greymon in the, or that Dark Greymon in the prologue pretty good.
They're true.
And them fishes smack good.
I saw you get lasered.
Oh, with Chaosdramon. Just kind of walking around out there.
Just chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't fight him.
No.
But yeah. Oh, where were we? Oh, the moves. You're given 4 slots of moves that you can just equip and unequip freely from your Digimon. They will fill those slots out naturally as they level up, and you can take those skills they learn naturally and yoink them and put them in your inventory.
Yeah, like the previous 2 games, you really had to spend a lot of time breeding and grinding if you wanted to fill up all your ability slots with what you wanted.
Yeah,
and that was just annoying and tedious.
Well, it was more the fact that whenever you replaced one, it deleted the old disc. You couldn't just take it out. But now it just whenever you replace one, the old one goes in your inventory to be stuck on somebody else, so you don't lose.
The other way to do it was to evolve down one line de-evolve, go down another line, then get the abilities you want that way, and then come back again.
Yeah. So it's
And
much
that took a lot of time.
it's much easier now just to swap these skills out whenever. And these they run the gamut between physical and magical attacks, single target AoE, status attacks, your most generic type of attacks possible. You can slot into these just to give your Digimon more coverage.
Yeah, I found a shop actually really early on that just gives the ability, so I grabbed a few of them.
Yeah. So what I found is AoE abilities are actually really weak in this game outside of very specific scenarios. So if you want to auto battle grind at all at any point, equip single target crap on all your Digimon. Because otherwise the computer will try to spam the pitiful AoE moves.
Yeah, and they don't do a whole lot.
Yeah.
Not unless you get the double elemental match.
Yeah. And even then, it's not going to do a one shot like the like a Vulcan Palm 2 is going to do 3 times as much damage as the AoE version, and the AoE version has a higher chance to miss.
Plus cost.
Yeah. So
that's one thing that I kind of appreciate that they carried over from the previous game is how the elements work. You've got your primary elemental loop and then the secondary.
oh, you've got your data type and your elements, and they're separate. Data type goes. You have 4 types of Digimon. You have vaccine, data, virus, and free. Vaccine.
Well, you got like 7 of them now.
Yeah, there's like unknown now. I don't know how all those fit in the triangle.
I have no idea. It was a free.
Yeah. Well, free is just it's neutral to everything. Like free has no bonuses, but no detriments. Like Stingmon is a free Digimon. He's specifically the reason I got a Stingmon. Because
so
he
fit him in there.
Yeah, so especially while I'm clearing trash, I don't have to swap my Digimon out as much. But data beats. No wait, hang on. Start with vaccine. Vaccine beats virus. Virus beats data. Data beats vaccine, and you will deal and take double damage, a la FGO, from their triangles. And
yeah, if you don't get that loop, if you don't get advantage in that loop, then there's really no point in worrying about elemental there.
Yeah, because the elements will do 50% more damage instead of twice the damage. Now, if you double match, you'll actually do 200% more damage.
Okay, here we go. So you've got free, unknown, variable, and no data. No data is available only to training and training 2. Basically, they're all the same, except they're just different evolutionary levels.
Okay.
So yeah, they're just different flavors of free.
Yeah, free is what it was called in Hacker's Memory and Cyber Sleuth, and used for everything.
I don't know why they did that, because those previous games, it was all just free.
Yeah, when Last Evolution Kizuna came out, a lot of fans got mad at them for breaking continuity, and they seem to have been on a kick to correct themselves afterwards. So maybe they were just getting a little overzealous.
Yeah.
Because Last Evolution Kizuna hacked off a lot of people. The only people that like it are non-Digimon fans.
Yeah.
That seems to be the way games get made a lot of the time these days. The games are not made to appeal to gamers; they're made to appeal to journalists.
Oh, this was a movie. Last Evolution Kizuna was a movie that hacked everybody off.
Right. Well, I mean, the same thing applies to movie critics, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah, they.
I was just my mind has sort of been idling on the passing mention of the Ghost of Tsushima sequel, and the conclusion people seem to have come to about that is that there's the bones of a good game there, but the entire thing is painted with wokery and jam-packed with a whole bunch of meaningless features that are just gimmicks to entertain games journalists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently it is not selling well.
Well, yeah. I mean, what people wanted was a sequel to the original one.
Yes.
Not some...
And the last bits of Jin's story.
Not some random new girl boss who is ugly as sin, and generally speaking, they built the entire story around a lesbian relationship. So...
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. For those unaware of what happened with Last Evolution Kizuna, basically the Digimon Tri movies went over budget by spending their entire budget on the first 3 movies, were a financial disaster for the Digimon company, and left a sour taste in everybody's mouth because the last 3 movies had problems because they had no money.
Shame,
And
actually. The first set of movies was actually pretty good.
yeah, the first set of 3 movies was great because they used all their money.
Yeah. Then they ran out of money.
Yeah, and they had to cut plot lines and cut a whole bunch of junk they were going to put in those movies, leaving a whole lot of stuff just unresolved. Conflicts and plot lines just dropped completely. So people didn't like the Tri movies because of their back end. And we'll always tell you just to go watch the first 3 and then stop.
Yeah.
So they wanted to completely expunge Tri, but still keep the adventure fans happy. So they made Last Evolution Kizuna, the movie. The director they had brought in made the original creator of Digimon quit because they would not listen to him when he said goes against established canon, you can't do this. Specifically, when you reach a certain age, your Digivice shows up and has a countdown timer, and your Digimon die, and the Digivice turns to stone. It contradicts everything, and the movie's message was, you need to grow up and stop watching Digimon. And you can see how this might have hacked a lot of people off.
Yeah.
And so now they have suddenly got on a continuity kick after they realized, oh, that was a bad idea too. Good old corpo suits.
Especially after you had Tri, completely contradict that entirely.
Well, the ending of Adventure 2 shows them like Agumon is a diplomat for Japan in the post
Agumon is a retard.
Oh no, he's in a business suit. Hang on. Adventure 2 ending tie.
It's dumb.
Agumon is dumb.
To be fair, he is joining the UN.
Oh, here we go.
I mean, I guess that's technically true.
This is the actual screenshot from the TV show of Agumon's future. In the epilogue. Just in case you were wondering. So it's entirely possible that they were on a continuity kick, and they seem to have been with a lot of the other Digimon media that has come out since then, because their lack of adherence to the way Digimon canon works caused not just friction with the fan base, but made the original creator pack up and leave.
Yeah. Anyway, I think you're further along in Time Stranger than I am.
What was the last boss you fought?
A whole bunch of Black Guttermon.
Okay, yeah, I'm further than you.
Yeah. So
not too much further, like two more main story missions ahead, but there's a lot of cutscenes in between you and them.
Yeah, I figured as much because everything looks like it's about to get Lord Dumpy. So you've got the main Digimon character who joins you pretty early on, who I insist on calling. Well, I don't insist on calling him. I keep accidentally thinking of him as Bennett.
Yeah.
It's the same voice actor, and yeah, it's not quite the same voice she's using, but it's close enough.
It is Bennett's voice actor, isn't it? I just now put that together.
She's just slightly higher pitched for Aegismon than she is for Bennett.
You mean Aegiomon?
Sorry, Aegiomon.
Aegismon is something different.
Aegismon is something different. So yeah, it's like that's Bennett's voice. It's slightly higher pitched, but that's Bennett's voice.
Yeah, so he's another hyper-humanoid type Digimon, which I honestly think those should remain rare. They were always reserved for like the mega powerful Digimon, and them becoming, or like in the mega villainous Digimon. The
more human they become, the more powerful they become.
Yeah, the less partner-esque they seem. Like Patamon being Patamon most of the time and only able to turn into Angemon when the straits are really, really bad. It makes sense. And otherwise it was always reserved for bigger villains.
He's also like in terms of power scaling, Angemon's sort of like more powerful than the bottom end of Ultimate.
Yeah,
In the animes, yes.
yeah, he's able to punch sometimes a whole evolution class above his weight. He kills a Dark Master Mega as an ultimate when he finally digivolves to Magna Angemon.
Yeah. Game wise, I think Angemon's about the first access to the celestial elemental typing that you can get.
There's a lot of holy options. You got the entire Kudamon line, you got the Godamon line, you got the Angemon line. I love Salamon. Salamon is adorable.
Salamon is a dog that turns into a cat.
That turns into a waifu. That turns into a cat. That turns into a fuzzy dragon.
It does turn into a fuzzy dragon.
But Magnadramon is so fuzzy. Like, I would keep that dragon as a pet.
A big fluffy dragon.
But
so cuddly.
I love Salamon's signature move. Happy Howl.
Doesn't really sound menacing.
It does a lot of damage. Because she is this is probably one of the highest magic stat rookies you can get. It's just all power to the front puppy howls.
Has anyone ever told Labramon that she looks like a poodle? Just saying.
Labramon's cute.
Labramon is a poodle, not a Labrador.
Yep.
I would have been really annoyed though if.
Uh-oh. Pickle.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh?
Yeah, he's back.
You good, Fern?
Okay.
Okay,
yeah, I think my internet just had an uplog.
Okay. You would have been really annoyed. Yeah, you would have been really annoyed. Ellipsis is what we had before you came back.
Really annoyed if Dobermon wasn't not a Doberman.
Yeah. That brings me to another point. The Digimon names. A lot of the names were changed for English. And at this point, it's been so dang long that if they try to cram in the Japanese names, I'm going to be mad. I don't care if they're more correct at this point. That's not the Digimon I grew up with. And they've been really good about keeping all the names. Like, we still have Magna Angemon instead of Holy Angemon, which is a redundancy department naming it from Japanese.
Yes.
Magna Angemon makes more sense. Well, it doesn't make more sense. It just flows better as an evolution of Angemon because Holy's already implied with the angel part. Like,
yes.
But there's one that has slipped by because, and I did some research on this because it drove me nuts. Because it's the perfect name for this Digimon. And that's Raidramon, the armor evolution for Vmon with the Egg of Friendship. In English, it was Raidramon, and this made a lot of sense. He's a lightning quadrupedal thing with armor on and slashy stuff on his helmet and his shoulders, like little blades on his forelegs. Like, Raidramon makes sense. It's got the Rai for lightning in Japanese. You know, he looks like he could go on a raid with that. He's really fast and not really edgy looking, but just kind of 90s cool looking. And his actual Japanese name is like Lydramon for light when he's lightning based, or like lightning. The English for lightning. It just doesn't sound as cool as Raidramon. But other than him, they seem to have kept them all. And when I did some digging, I figured out the reason that his name in particular has changed. Yeah. It caused an issue in the TCG. Because of names matter in card games when you have tutors.
Yeah, here it is, Lydramon. Yeah, and it's just light with the T dropped off and then Drummon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's the only one I've noticed so far that has had their name reverted to the Japanese. Otherwise, Omnimon is Omnimon. He's not Omegamon. I don't care if Omegamon is more correct or whatever. I grew up with Omnimon. Anybody that actually likes Omnimon specifically for being Omnimon likes the name Omnimon and knows him as Omnimon.
Yeah. Omegamon, I think, fits better when you put him alongside Alphamon.
Yeah. Well, originally there was There was no Alphamon originally. Alphamon came
Originally, there
later.
wasn't.
Omegamon was a creation of the Summer Wars director. And when they localized it in the hodgepodge of the first Digimon movie, his name got changed to Omnimon. Because, well, he's not the last Digimon that's going to exist, I guess. So they thought Omegamon sounded kind of silly, and they can't see the future, so they didn't know an Alphamon was coming.
Yeah.
And most of their attack names, they were pretty good about the name changes. Because you got to remember, we're also talking about early 4Kids, early Saban era localization. So a lot of changes were just, they were expected. It was part of the practice. But for the changes they made,
did it for the sake of doing it.
Yeah, for the changes they did make, yeah, they did not pick bad choices most of the time. Like
Most of the time.
Like Gallantmon having his name changed to Gallantmon from Dukemon. Okay, it works. It might be a little unnecessary, but it's still fine. But they changed like his attack names. Like all of his attack names reference a sword when he uses a lance. So like I forget what the original name of his Lightning Joust in English is, but it's something else in.
I'll look it up. Hang on.
Yeah, it's like something.
Royal Saber.
Yeah, it's Saber instead, and Lightning Joust makes more sense.
Field of the Just is Final Elysium.
Yeah, I get the feeling that they just thought
Saber, Screw Saber, and Gallant Charge is Duke Charge.
Yeah. While Final Elysian is a cooler sounding name, I can at least understand why they were like, okay, kids aren't going to know what Elysian is.
Kids don't know what that is, yeah.
So I can understand the logic. But like, and Omnimon having his moves changed to like Transcendent Sword and Supreme Cannon. You don't get much 90s cool than that.
Nah.
I forget what they're actually called.
Hang on. The internet is here to answer all our questions. Supreme Cannon is originally Garuru Cannon because it's Garurumon's head.
Yeah.
And Transcendent Sword is Grey Sword because it's Greymon's head.
Yeah. I like the English ones better.
What are they?
Yeah,
like
a bit
on the nose.
Yeah.
It's also been known as Omega Sword and Omega Howling.
Yeah. Yeah, Supreme Cannon and Transcendent Sword are way better. So they've been good about keeping the names that we're used to, because I got news for people. Until we started getting a lot of tourists with Time Stranger, everybody buying Digimon products is 30-something plus years old.
Yeah, oh yeah. There's not a whole lot of kids that are into Digimon.
And this is a thing that the creators of Digimon have noticed. They're yeah.
What is the new Digimon?
Fortnite.
Really? Of all things?
Like what are the kids into these days? It just seems to be whatever the current streamer trend is, and it does not have the same kind of sticking power or longevity of the stuff from our youth.
Yeah, at least the new ones, the new characters that they're bringing out, they're not really trying to mess with the names. Like Aegeomon he's Aegeomon. It's the same in both languages, and he's Pan basically.
Yeah, he's a satyr.
Pan is a Digimon.
He's a satyr.
Incidentally, how does he wear shoes?
He's doomed.
Oh yeah, Aegeomon is totally screwed. Because we don't have a Leomon in the story yet, where I'm at.
Yet.
And Leomon, the line traditionally starts with Elecmon. You know who else starts as an Elecmon? Aegeomon.
But he's gonna die.
I am 100% calling this character gonna die. He's going to be our Leomon replacement. He's only one line removed.
Yeah, he will. I'd say he will live to the end of the game, because there's enough of a gap there to allow that.
It buys him until the ending of the game to survive because of the one degree of separation.
But yeah, the DNA is too strong.
The curse is too strong. He's too close. Can't escape. So yeah. And yeah, all the new.
I'm feeling sure that Lilithmon wasn't designed for kids.
No.
Oh my no.
No, and this is something that I was getting at before. They know their audience is older now, and you see this with Cyber Sleuth, Hacker's Memory. Most of their survive. They're targeting their demographic that grew up with it as they age. And that's why they keep just trotting out the adventure kids. And until the reboot that nobody really liked, and seems to have been kind of just swept under the rug.
It was
Um,
fine, but geez, it went at a pace.
yeah,
It
the
skipped like 3 episodes each time.
yeah the stories in general have been very much more in line with what's acceptable for adults, or even not quite like super mature aside from Survive. Um, everything in Survive is
Yeah,
dark.
Survive is dark.
Yeah,
And you have like Arukenimon shows up in there. She's disguised as a human for a bit, and she's a total vamp.
Aristeal. Tamers wasn't written when we were old.
no, Tamers was written by an insane person that then went on to write Serial Experiments Lane.
Which explains a lot, actually.
Yes, it's probably why, and he's also why Digimon fans unfortunately got Renamon.
Ah, yes, and thus so did the furry community.
There's a perfectly fine Sakuyamon at the end of that line that I could understand people waifuing.
Yes,
But
They've
they
got to go through Renamon first, and most of the furries they're happy to stop there.
like Sakuyamon's got that hot, sexy shrine maiden thing going. It's like the equivalent to the sexy nuns. Just
yeah.
in a even tighter bodysuit. Like you could waifu that. That would make sense.
You could, but she'll beat you to death with her ring stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you probably wouldn't enjoy it, but you could. You could, but no.
Some people are probably into that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
But no, because Renamon exists, the Gooners aren't able to get past that point.
Yeah, furries happened.
Yeah, so that is a sin that he will never ever live down. We'll have to pay penance for millions of years for.
Yeah, are they going to do it to Agramon? No. He's a big, chunky, fluffy rabbit.
Yeah.
But they're not going to do anything to him.
No.
Even though he's basically chunky rabbit Renamon.
Yeah. But he also gave us Guillemon, so that probably that gives us a bit of that shaves a bit off of his sentence there. Because Guillemon is amazing. Because
Guillemon is developmentally disabled.
I just want to point out, for those that don't know, Guillemon is voiced by the guy that played Spike in Cowboy Bebop. Steve Bloom, same dude. So you got Spike from Cowboy Bebop acting as a Digimon
with a learning disability.
With drain damage.
Yep, and a severe case of sucking the helium.
Yeah. Akato man.
At least he gets smart when he evolves. Yeah, sort of.
Well, you can't really count because by the end of it he has Takato driving.
Yeah, that's fair.
So yeah, that's where we're at with those, the localization stuff and the gameplay stuff. The gameplay's a lot of fun too. They've done a good job putting more restrictive and varied types. There are a lot of virus types early, so it favors vaccines. But as soon as you get a little past the point you're at, Fern, the virus types start becoming less and less common.
I've noticed that. Like all the bosses except for I think Cyclomon is virus types.
Cyclomon not a virus, he data?
I think he's data.
Yeah. So you're gonna want a Growlmon, is what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You're gonna want
right at the start of the game, it lets you choose your starter, and it also gives you a Koromon basically as part of the tutorial, which you're supposed to, or at least if you follow the tutorial directly, you make it into an Agumon. Oh no, Cyclomon is virus.
Yeah, I thought it was virus.
Yeah.
Unrelated, Aristeal. I just scrolled all the way to the bottom of Inazuma. Why is the fog-covered island now covered in red lightning clouds?
What did you do?
Oh, it might be at that part of the quest.
I haven't done anything though. Like what?
But the quest doesn't care. Doesn't care what you do. Yeah, the quest only. The quest progresses on real life time. So yeah, next part of the quest must have triggered. You can go back there and try and solve that problem.
But it seems really inhospitable down there.
It is.
Wow.
Bad enough. It's bad enough from the Chernobyl crater. I don't think I really want to be down there, to be honest.
Also, you've got a lot of unopened chests I can just see right from the Statue of the Seven.
Well, I mean, I don't really like this particular island very much, to be honest.
No, that island respawns its chests every time it resets.
Oh.
Or rather, new chests spawn in every time it resets.
So, does it have like phases, and each phase has its own set of chests, or?
each phase will spawn in a different set of chests, but once you've cleared the island, the chests, I forget what the wiki said, if it said they collapse their loot into one chest or if they all are just there. It's one of the two. It's been a long time since I did that section of music.
I haven't done this section of Inazuma at all yet. It doesn't look particularly friendly.
Yeah, this is not like the fog was bad enough, but it looks a lot worse now.
Yeah. So yeah, you're going to want a Graumon basically because he's the most accessible virus type that can deal with datas, and you probably are going to want to try and get a decent free Digimon just to make trash a bit easier, and you're going to want at least 1 or 2 datas as well, because you will need to start balancing that out. You can have one on your team that's weak against stuff sometimes and get away with it. The last boss
Generally,
fight I did was
for field fights. Yeah, for field fights, I find that's the case, but for boss fights, no.
For the upcoming bosses, you're definitely going to want to try and type match. So you'll eventually want 3, 3, and 3. One of them has a fun gimmick that it takes reduced damage from physical for the first half and reduced damage from magic for the second half. Oh no,
Oh joy!
Scratch that, flip it. It's a data type.
Right. Which means you need viruses.
And a mix of magic and physical damage.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's the gameplay there. I've had a lot of fun with it. They're very good about mixing up stuff like that and doing things like that physical magic res thing. And the boss that it follows immediately after him. Always save before bosses in this game, by the way. It does auto save before them, but take your safety save. Because you will often go into a boss fight, realize, oh, that's what type it is, and be like, yep, press that give up button and try again. Especially
this isn't going well, I'm going to start over.
Because in the early game, you're probably not going to have a built roster of enough types to cover everything, and you're going to have to do some tweaking. Because this game is all about autismal team building and tweaking. That's what the Cyber Sleuth generation of games is.
Yep, gotta get your tism on.
Also,
one other thing I did like is actually at the start of the game you get to pick which character you do. You got Dan as the male and Kanon as the female. I went with Dan because I like his look better. Both characters actually have really stupid costumes. And this is pointed out constantly during the game.
Yeah, even though the characters are constantly telling me I have a stupid costume on, I have long since changed it to a generic t-shirt from the first shop that you get.
I did that as well, and because characters kept on referring to the stupid costume, I just changed it back.
Yeah, no, I'm not wearing the flight attendant suit the whole way through the game.
And that's why I didn't pick Kanon as the player character, because I don't like her default costume. She has that stupid teeny-weeny hat.
Yeah, unfortunately, boyfriend has a penis problem, and that he has one.
But he also has a proper set of goggles, like a good Digimon protagonist.
That's true, but penis.
Yeah. So what I appreciate, don't pick becomes your operator.
Yeah, I got him talking to me on the phone a lot.
Yeah. More to the point, that character is also constantly listening to you as you go through the game and just randomly. You creepy lady. But, yeah. Also, they're obsessed with saying, because, okay, no, this is the thing I don't understand, therefore this thing is an anomaly.
Yeah,
you're going to get a lot of that early on in the game.
Yeah, they from a narrative perspective, they act kind of like a safety net for the less intellectual. That's not even the right word. The less mentally capable that we know play video games. It's that they exist to make sure you understand that this relates to stuff happening 8 years in the future. Because guess what? The game's called Time Stranger, and within like the end of the prologue, you're sent back in time by 8 years, and just you.
And your Digimon.
Yeah,
Digimon,
yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, that's the whole plot so far. Is like you get sent back in time because the world's about to end. There's a big old wall in Tokyo. There's apparently a Digimon war going on inside it, as you find out, with Digimon that are so ridiculously large that honestly they should be able to just see them outside the wall. But never mind that.
That's a really tall wall they put up.
It's a very, very tall wall.
But given that Digimon can fly, and there's a Digimon called Examon that I expect to show up at some point.
He showed up in Cyber Sleuth.
Yeah, he showed up as kind of a big deal in Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory.
Yep. And those games, they did call him an Ultra.
Yeah, because Examon is special, and that
Examon is special.
he's less of a Digimon and more just a mass of data rolled into the shape of a Digimon that just is oppressively powerful because of his girth.
Yes, more like he's a massive data that's shaped like a Digimon that's shaped like a natural disaster.
Yeah, he's not as he's classified as a royal knight only in the most technical sense. He functionally is just a walking natural disaster.
Yeah. So, yeah, as it turns out, the big ass war doesn't do squat, and the war spills out and destroys the world.
Or is destroying the world. It's in progress.
Currently, yes.
So in present day, time is still marching along alongside you in 8 years in the past. So while 1 minute passes for you 8 years ago, you're able to open your telephone and call 8 years into the future, and time is still marching on at the same pace for them. So if a day,
They don't explain how or why that.
yeah, we're not sure why the time stream is synced up that way, but you're able to make phone calls to 8 years in the future, and time just marches along. 1 day passes in the past, 1 day passes in the present. So if you call call on Tuesday, it'll be Tuesday 8 years from now in the future, and you can have a conversation. 1 day rolls over in the past. It's now Wednesday. It'll be Wednesday the next day in the future, and your and your operator is just telling you how bad things are getting, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. And you need to really investigate hard, please. We're dying. We're running out of resources. Everything.
Please do something.
Please save us.
Look an anomaly.
Like, here, maybe that one will fix it. Please, go.
Yeah, there is definitely the air of grasping at straws at times.
We things are very dire, and we need you to fix it now, please.
Yeah, we don't know what's going to fix it. We're just going to try everything.
Yeah, we are currently in Strat for Resources all-out war mode. You're the only one with the luxury to investigate. Please find something, anything.
Yes. Why are you sitting around at that noodle stand?
Why are you playing the card battle minigame?
Oh, why are you playing the card battle minigame?
Thankfully, the card battle minigame is not as involved as Gwent. But there are probably about as many cards to collect.
Yeah, basically it's, when you boil it right down, it's one player plays a card, another player plays a card, whoever has the better card wins.
Sometimes. Because it just increases your chance to win.
Yes.
As my level 1, like, baby, no type beat a ultimate level card one time. I'm like, yeah, there's quite a bit.
It's supposed to do that.
No, that's supposed to be megas at level 7.
Oh, yeah, okay, I get you now.
It only inverts at the
level 6?
Yeah, no, I had a like a level 5 data ultimate, not mega. So upper end of the mid tier, and I got this little. I drew a baby card because the cards you draw are random from your collection. You don't make a deck.
You get all of them.
And so I plopped this baby out as my first card because I had to go first, and I'm like, oh, I'll just get rid of this and lose this round. And it beat the ultimate, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. So, like, if the card with the bigger number has a higher chance, if you've got typing advantage, it's a better chance. But it's never 0.
Yeah,
that you'll lose.
Yeah, you can also get screwed by it. I've got screwed by it a lot.
Yes, the random number god is not a merciful god.
And there are all kinds of people in Digimon you can challenge to card battles.
But thankfully, this looks like this is how the big collectible rather than the gumball machines, the gachapon machines.
I bought a turbo controller for those stupid gumball machines in Hacker's Memory.
I gave up on them entirely.
And you know the funny part? I put a weight on that controller when I went to bed that night. I went to bed about 1 o'clock in the morning. Got up around...
Oh, hey, Chula.
Yeah. Got up around 8 a.m. and got dressed, went to work, came back, checked the gacha progress, still didn't have them all.
Yeah.
Now you can... it costs an absurd amount of money, but you can just buy the missing cards, a good chunk of them, from the shops. There's like dedicated card shops around that have different stock, and you can just win battles to get the cards you need.
Yeah, so it's not just sitting there and waiting for the grind.
It's not turning on the turbo controller and walking away and going to work.
This is annoying. There is a Culus here, and I want to collect it, and I can't.
Ulysses.
So far I'm enjoying the game. I haven't noticed any big gotchas or weirdness with localization yet.
No, most of it seems like they were trying to do a fairly faithful translation, but they have been relatively careful to keep the old names. And
yes,
no matter who gets in charge of development or localization for these games, they have been consistently very careful to keep the original Saban localizations because they know that nobody new is picking up Digimon.
Yeah. Also,
however,
I really hate the influencer character.
I hate her, but in a love to hate her. I hate her, but in a love to hate her kind of way.
Yeah. You have she's got a paranormal YouTube channel basically, and she's running around recording everything whenever you've got a mission with her. So she's got the narcissistic out, and she's recording and making stupid poses and commentary the entire time.
Yeah, she's our equivalent to Nokia from Cyber Sleuth, the retard.
Maybe not quite as bad as Nokia. Nokia was, well, basically as dense as the phone she's named after.
Yeah, she is just the dumbest. And she's the one that gets
somehow...
it's so funny when it happens, too, because she doesn't even realize that it happens.
Yeah.
When she digivolves her Agumon and Gabumon partners into Omnimon.
Yeah.
She just is like, I'm just gonna win because I'm so positive, and you can't stop the power of friendship. And Agumon and Gabumon DNA digivolve to Omnimon, and he appears behind her, and then it goes into the auto combat of her side of the battle, and Omnimon's just wrecking shop, and the whole time she's like, what? When did that happen?
I don't know what's going on.
Where did my Agumon and Gabumon go? She just did not realize what she was doing.
Yeah, so that whole bit, you just sit back and watch Omnimon wreck face, and she's just completely clueless. Yet somehow she becomes the big hero who unites everyone.
There's a magical power in incredibly happy, stupid young women.
Yes.
As long as they're aware that they need to be incredibly happy all the time and are also aware that they're dumb as a bag of rocks.
Yes. So yeah, generally she just kind of happens in places and things just sort of work out.
Sometimes. Cyber Sleuth has some really dark side stories too, and I'm wondering if we'll get some of those.
Oh my yes.
Remember, this is a spoiler for Cyber Sleuth for a side quest, but I'm going to tell it anyway just to emphasize how effed up some of the side quests could be. In that game, there was a virtual space, kind of like what Zuckerberg wanted Metaverse to be, and that was the digital world that you went into when you put on the VR headset, but you stuck your brain in there and left your body comatose in the real world until you came back. There's a dude that would just scam people into getting trapped in the digital world and kidnap their bodies and unhook them from their machine and take their bodies and sell them for body parts. And you have to catch this guy and get him arrested. And you have to find one of his victims to do it. And at the end of the quest, he still doesn't believe you that he can just log out whenever he wants. And it just ends the quest after his device pops up and says, error, nowhere to log out to.
Yeah, and it just leaves that whole plot hanging like that.
Yeah, he's just dead. And he's dead. His brain hasn't figured it out yet.
He's not like your character who's basically a digital ghost walking around the world. He's just dead.
Yeah, you get half digitized in Cyber Sleuth by getting half of your brain eaten.
Yeah, you actually get to see your own lifeless husk at one point too, which is kind of a weird scene.
While still being able to materialize in the real world, because your brain's only half digital.
Yeah.
Because Digimagic.
Because Digimagic.
But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with the game.
Good time so far. I do think I need to stop and just grind a bit and get my my stable built up.
Yeah, you don't need too big of a one, and each area has enough places to grind.
No, this is monster collecting now. It's time to get the Tismon.
Oh right, yes, I forgot.
Got to activate Tism mode.
I'm trying to assure the people that you can get away without super turbotism, but then the more I think about it, no, this is a game for autists.
No. Like, you can get through Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory to a degree as well. You could get to about halfway through the game before you'd run into a wall.
And even then, those games had a issue that I hope doesn't crop up again. And the problem is 2 words, and they're called Great Tornado.
Yes.
And basically what this means is any attack on the Mega Level Digimon, there were not very many, but the ones that did have it were such a power level above everything else it wasn't even funny, that had the Ignore Defense attribute on their attack, one of their special attacks. And this made them do about 5 times the damage of anything else, even when they were at type disadvantage. And the biggest offender that everybody got early, because it's one of the easier ones to get, is War Greymon. And so you could Great Tornado your way to victory.
And just, like, skip the combat for, like, a good chunk of the game.
Yeah, he's an incredibly easy Mega to get in that game. And he was the only Digimon you needed after you got him. So I hope they have learned their lesson and don't include the Ignore Defense passive again, because holy crap was that busted.
If they do, just tone it down. Like, way down.
Like, ignore 20% of the enemy's defense. That's still powerful, but it's not one-shot all the bosses in the game.
Not busted. So, yeah, we'll keep picking away at it.
Or even better, for War Greymon, just make it only ignore defense on Draymon-type Digimon. Because of his gauntlets, the Draymon Destroyers, that specifically have advantage over dragons.
They are Dragon Slayers, yes. It's kind of his thing.
Yeah, he's a dinosaur warrior man Digimon that has plus damage against dragons. Oh, I get to hear him shout Terra Force now. It's going to be so cool.
You've just, like, de-aged 30 years, haven't you?
Yes.
Look, anytime there's big dumb attack name callouts in any piece of media, I love it. It's great.
Why do you think I like Shonen so much? It's because it's just big and dumb.
Like, specifically big dumb attack name callouts. Anytime the S-Crafts and Trails, anytime the Tales of series has its Mystic Arts, I love all that crap. Love it to death. That part of me I have never grown out of and never will. But getting to see the ones that I loved as a kid in a video game that's actually good, and have them do those same attack name callouts, the same localized ones I remember. Oh, it feels so good. I fire my harpoon torpedo into the darkness.
So yeah, we don't know yet how big the roster is, but if Hacker's Memory and Cyber Sleuth are anything to go by, it's going to be big.
You know, those games already had like 300 something. So that's the other thing. Part of the reason this game got so much hype from the Digimon fans is because it kept getting delayed. First it was because of Koof, and then it was because of a system switch where they had to switch to the next generation of consoles and redo some stuff. And it was already slated to be a really big game. And part of that being a really big game was they updated every single model in the game from their Vita versions to the current versions. Now,
they still have some recycled animations. I'll give it that.
Well, the stock animations for Digimon have existed since whenever that Digimon came out. Because Terra Force has had the exact same animation with a slightly different background since the first anime.
Yeah.
Like if they did not use those same animation cycles, it would not look good. Or it would not look right.
Let's see.
But what about Marching Fishes?
Marching Fishes is a little special because Gomamon uses it so infrequently that it's a little different.
Twice in the entire story.
The current number for Time Stranger is over 450.
Yeah, that's like 100 more than Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory. That's the other thing about this over Pikaman. There is we just couldn't fit all the Pokemon in here. No, all the Digimon are here, and they took the time to go in and remodel all of them. And it's not a half-butted remodel either. These are genuinely significantly higher quality than the Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory ones.
Things like faces and eyes are animated in
Yeah.
places where they weren't before.
Yeah, and is it the prettiest graphics in the world, or the most sophisticated, or the most advanced animation? No, but
Not really.
but as a step up from the previous games, oh yeah, it's a huge step up. They've actually put a lot of work into this, and you may not be able to appreciate that if you haven't played the other two, but if you have, holy crap, it doesn't look so much better.
Yeah.
Never mind the background. We still have our trippy LSD trip backgrounds for the special dungeons. You'll start.
Yeah,
Where
I
the
did the
the
one of
Gadamon's.
the
Yeah, the Gadamon's the first
Gatamons.
one. Yeah, the
There
first.
is nothing in that dungeon that is stationary. Not
No.
a single thing.
No, there's a big old epilepsy warning on the front of these boxes that I usually disregard completely. You might want to be careful with this game if you genuinely have epilepsy. Holy crap.
You're going on a trip if you're not careful.
Yeah. Like, Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory was all just those backgrounds, but they were just kind of boring backgrounds because they had to render it on
They're
the
all
Vita.
just kind of blue.
Now, whenever they do the trippy backgrounds, they're, number one, just one of many different backdrops they can have now, and we don't have to do all weird Windows screensavers type stuff to save on budget. Number two, they're all heavily animated when they are trippy LSD.
Yeah, but things like not even the floor is safe. Like you've got blocks that are strobing colors. You've got blocks that are every block is jiggling up and down.
Like I got actually disoriented in the game when I went to that Godamon one, the first one you go into, for about 15 to 20 seconds until I managed to stabilize myself in the game and
your eyes just kind of go, whoa.
Like, they're like, hang on, recalibrating. Show me Gadamon's feet so I can find an anchor point.
Error.
I think that's what they're supposed to evoke. They're supposed to be trippy nonsense. Like, these areas are not. They're supposed to be called super anomalies and outer dungeons. So,
like the previous games, like it was basically just platforms, digital platforms floating in a void.
Yeah. So
this is kind of the other end of that spectrum.
So, as a preview of some mechanics, I won't get into any specifics of it. You'll find more outer dungeons than this one, and they are not listed as side quests most of the time. They do exist in side quests, like the Godamon quest. But you will just find outer dungeon portals throughout the world, and inside is a mini game of some kind in the trippy background.
Right. And the trippy background.
One of them is a you have to run around a square board and not get into combat with any Digimon for 90 seconds as more and more stuff spawns. You start with like Koromons or Botamons, and then Koromons are added, and then Greymons are added, and then Metal Greymons are added.
Bigger and bigger stuff that's harder to avoid.
Yeah, this fatter, and you have to actually use, like, the Metal Greymon's so fat that you can use them to break line of sight, because line of sight determines aggro in this game.
Yep.
And so you can de-aggro all the Greymons by hiding behind the fat Metal Greymon. And then you've got, like, there's the Peckmon race, where you ride a Peckmon around and have to race a pixel sprite version of some random Digimon around a map, and you have to avoid obstacles and collect speed boosts.
It's emu racing.
Yeah, it's pretty much. And when you finish any of these mini games, and there seems to be several different kinds of them, I've encountered about 4 different kinds so far. You actually get a free, like, 40 or 50 talent champion Digimon.
Nice.
Just be sure to talk to the giant Tamagotchi again.
Yeah.
After you finish the quest.
I just got the What's that lets me find those, so
yeah,
that should be interesting.
Yeah, and they're just in random spots throughout the world. I need to go re-explore and find the ones I missed. Because I did not realize they were a thing until I had already left the continent, as it were. So when I get back to Tokyo proper, I need to go exploring.
Yeah, it is nice being able to go back and visit the same places that you saw in the original game, but basically every game that models Shinjuku, it's going to look the same. It's Shinjuku.
Yeah, well, it's all based on the real world Tokyo, so
yeah. So it's nice to see those places again, but let's face it, they're the same places.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of other games too. So I think that's us for that.
Happy Hal.
So, maybe we should go get a Salamon.
Happy Hal. For a rookie, she hits so hard. Her magic stat is so high. You stick an int booster equipment on her, and it feels so good. You'll just delete
I remember
anything.
as a child being completely incredulous that Gatomon was a champion.
Yeah, because that's its base state, where everyone else is running around as rookies.
Yeah, Gatomon is actually was the weak point in her line in the last games, and is the weak point in her line in these games, because all of the Digimon surrounding Gatomon, Angelomon, Magnegeron, Salamon, are all magic damage based. But Gatomon's signature attack is physical damage. Her Lightning Paw, while it has a bunch of fun bonus effects, hits like a wet noodle because she doesn't have any strength. Her attack stat is low. Her intellect stat's what's high.
Which is very, very strange for a Digimon with a physical special.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. Salamon was cuter anyway. Kari should have kept Salamon after Gatomon became her partner.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's wrap up then, shall we?
Do we have any news? I don't think so.
Not really.
I don't remember
There's
seeing
again
any
the
that was any good.
Ghost of Yotai stuff, which is just a dumpster fire. I really don't want to touch it.
I don't think it's worth giving it the time, to be honest. Just let it fade into the dustbin of history.
Yeah.
There are a bunch of people who are furiously glazing it, but I don't think it's going to stick. Like, it's going to do reasonably well. It'll probably make most of its money back, but it's going to be like it's not going to turn into the annualizable franchise that they're always hoping for. It's going to die with this one because they dropped the ball.
Yeah.
But
Apparently
what
the sales
made
numbers
people
have not been great.
What made people keep coming back to Assassin's Creed was that they wanted to come back to see the next thing that's going to happen to Ezio. And
Yeah.
that allowed them to start annualizing it. But they've dropped the ball this time.
Yeah, no one really cares about Assassin's Creed anymore either.
Well, yeah, because they tried to take it too far and they started just trotting out garbage.
They stopped the storyline with that company that Desmond or whatever is diving into the memories of all his ancestors and stuff, and
Yeah, the Abstergo thing.
yeah, they just canned that plot line and started going
Plus,
with weirder abstractions on what could be construed as an assassin.
Plus, they've just crammed so many unnecessary mechanics into the game. It's like, where's the assassination at this point?
Like they had
I
one.
think that I don't think it's not so much that. I think the actual problem was that they turned every other game also into Assassin's Creed.
That did not help.
Yeah, and after Assassin's Creed 2, the one win they did have was by accident.
Pirates.
Pirates.
And that was just because the ship combat happened to be good. Like they just happened to get on a roll there.
Yeah, there's just not very many good pirate games out there either. There's a lot of bad ones, or just played meh ones, but no really good pirate games.
Yeah, so it was a major piece of side content, but it was still side content, but it's what everybody talks about when they mention that game being good. The rest of that game is just mediocre Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, it's just regular old ass Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I watched a friend play it and it ended in a total whimper.
Yeah. But when you can be a pirate, it's fun.
Like they have a section of gameplay that is really good that they made that quality by accident, I'm convinced, because that team doesn't seem to have an original bone in their body.
Well, they took that whole pirate mechanic out of the game, made an entirely new game out of it, delayed it, overpriced it, and nobody bought it.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't have any faith in these series that are trying to be annualized. I have
Yeah.
Well, the question is whether or not that's going to be a strategy going forward now that it's bombed so many times. Because, upon a time, it was the goal for every major publisher was to have, a small stable of really big names that could be annualizable. And they would just drop one out every single year. Or at least that was the goal. And remember, back in the day, Blizzard floated the idea that they were going to release a new WoW expansion every year as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, look how that turned out.
Yeah, we for sequels, we really kind of had a sweet spot hit in the early aughts, where your Spyros and your Jack and Daxters wouldn't come out annually, but every other or maybe 3 years you get a new one.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that you got a new one when the new one was done.
Yeah, it wasn't
But
rushed out.
Yeah.
The annualized AAA phenomenon has basically got its lunch completely eaten by live service.
Basically, yeah.
Because it's basically a crappy version of live service, and live service is pretty crappy as it is for the most part. Like
The only, speaking of crappier versions, the only other bit of news really is just a little bit more from the EA front.
Hmm?
The dust seems to be starting to settle on that, and there's mumblings about which studios now are going to get the chop. And unfortunately, sort of, the top of that pile seems to be BioWare.
They need to get chopped.
Well, when was the last time they did anything anybody gave a damn about?
Dragon
Like-
Age Inquisition over a decade ago.
And
Like,
that was launched with a great deal of there was a great deal of disagreement over whether or not it was any good.
like OG Dragon Age and Mass Effect 2 were the last good, genuinely widely accepted good products by everybody that played them that BioWare put out.
Yeah, 3 is
I-
good
I
with an
feel like-
asterisk.
I feel like Dragon Age itself was a bit like that was another divisive one because I didn't actually think it was all that good.
I thought it
It
was.
was okay.
I thought it was good, but my biggest hangups are with the gameplay of it. There's just a few.
Yeah.
The gameplay was absolute dog shit, and I
It
thought
has
that the
not
rest
aged
of
well
it
to go
was.
back to it.
I thought the rest of it was only like okay at the best of times, but way more focused on being edgy than being interesting.
I saw a lot of places they could have gone with it as dark fantasy at the time. It's more interesting when you think about it as the start of an IP. But now that we've seen where it's going, it loses a lot of that.
The end of an IP.
Yeah.
Like the IP died with it.
Well, that's the problem is that mystique it had early on and the potential it had. We watched it get squandered. So, but in retrospect, it hurts the original Dragon Age.
Oh, that storm's coming back again. Oh dear. Okay. So yeah, we've got BioWare's probably the top of the chopping block, but apparently not. Most of their studios are potentially not necessarily on the chopping block, but on the sale option if the right offer comes along. That includes Maxis of all things.
Honestly.
Well, the thing is that there's still residual value to some of those IPs. The problem is that the people developing them are complete rubbish at their jobs because they've been totally displaced by ideologues.
Yeah. In the case of Maxis, it's basically they're still running The Sims, which is just a free money mill for EA.
Yeah. Honestly,
well, they're also just an ideological factory at this point. Like, there's no new talent there. They can't do anything interesting with The Sims.
Yeah, it's honestly, if any studios get cut from EA, I'm not gonna even lose sleep or think about it, because that entire apparatus under the EA umbrella has been so creatively defunct and just not good at making good vidya for so long now. That
remember, EA is the studio that gave us the term surprise mechanics.
Yeah. Like if they just liquefy most of the studios to fire all the staff and bring in new blood with new studios and hold on to those IPs and put them on ice for a while to give us time to cleanse our palates and then come out with somebody that has actual new ideas. I mean, that's the most optimistic scenario, but that's kind of what you can hope for with this. It's not impossible.
The last time you saw Western AAA generally produce anything worth a damn.
Yeah.
So if they wanted to be clever about this, then this would be the ideal time to do a complete purge, clean house, tidy up the processes, and come out fresh.
Yeah, because the product
they need the balls to do it.
They've got to take the balls
to do it.
They've got their evergreen franchises, like they've got their COD, their Battlefield, they've got The Sims, they've got Fuffa.
Yeah, but the thing is that those are all
generate money.
Those are not growing games.
No.
Those are not growing audiences. Like those games haven't made a splash in years.
Nope.
You might be able to count on them to come out periodically, but that's all that they're good for is to come out periodically. Like, it's not like their sports stable, for instance, like the NBA and their Madden and so on and so forth, and FIFA. Those are the evergreens. COD is not evergreen. There's not an infinite supply of people getting interested in COD.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah.
It's the same thing.
Well, there's no real difference except that COD is more successful. They do the
Yes.
same function for their respective companies. But like, there's nobody is interested in joining the Battlefield phenomenon because the Battlefield phenomenon doesn't draw people in. Sports is eternal. Like, football hasn't started to become unpopular at any point in history. So Madden is probably going to be able to piggyback on American football forever.
Speaking
But-
of, let's see how mad everybody's going to be tomorrow. Did Auburn manage to clinch it? No, okay. I don't know whether that makes me happy or sad, because it would be fun to listen to everybody I know be mad, except for my dad. He would have been happy.
Yeah.
What was the margin in the end? Did
20-10. Georgia pulled their head out of their butt in the last quarter.
They did manage to find it within themselves to behave and do what they're supposed to, as opposed to getting crushed by Auburn.
Yeah, who is like one of the bottom 5 teams in the SEC. But oh boy, did they try to lose it.
My point there being really that EA's got a number of franchises. If they just want to churn some free churned money, they can just sit on those for a year, clean house.
I think that they should. I think they should go at this with a will. Like, I think that they should be ruthless and merciless, like a PR push to be a company with a new face, and then lead off with a whole bunch of announcements of things that they're planning to do. Not necessarily titles, but things that they're planning to do. I'm sure that there'll be some big old projects which will keep grinding along in the background, but talking about them is not going to make anybody interested in what you have to say. They need to appear like they're a future-facing company rather than a back company, which all the big... They're just looking at when things were good and how do we get back to that.
They do have a Mass Effect title in the works.
Honestly, they're doggle at this point, because it's not like the cost of development is going down. So there are basically 2 routes. Scale back your studios to being AA studios under a AAA umbrella. Follow the example of things in the space between, like, Expedition 33 and Silksong, and that sort of size bracket, from the very small teams to the medium-sized teams, and then use that to fish for what people are actually interested in. Or the only other direction is to outsource a whole pile of the development bloat to AI, because I'm sure that there are a lot of people who are doing sort of like bland jobs filling out those studios. Making up the difference between, you know, the 40 man size that you get with a Clear Obscure and the, you know, 500 man size team that you've got on your standard AAA. Like, in terms of quality of experience, is there a 450 person difference?
I'd say there's about a 350 person detriment.
Yes.
Like that means that there's a lot of stuff being done that doesn't need a person behind it.
Or
so automation is probably the direction that they'll try and push.
Or just doesn't need to be done at all.
Yeah, I'd say a good chunk of that 500 person team is management and middle management.
And diversity.
You save a lot of money just by carving that out.
And HR.
Yeah, if you can.
And HR.
Can you imagine how much better it would be to work at these game companies if it was just some good old boys and no HR department?
Just a bunch of guys who...
You mean like back when Blizzard made games people wanted to play?
Yeah, back when everybody there, you know, takes their Magic the Gathering deck to work for lunch break.
Yeah, back when people did it for the love of the craft, not for the love of money.
Yeah, when it was, we make video games because we're a bunch of nerds and we like video games.
I think doing it for the love of money would be a substantial step up. It's pretty clear they don't give a toss about money compared to their appearance on the public stage and their ESG score.
That would be winding the clock back 15 years as opposed to 30.
Yeah.
Like, if they were concerned about the amount of money that their games made, then they would be making good games. But they're not. They're concerned about the amount of money that will be in the bonus they get for securing higher investor confidence due to greater investments due to a higher ESG score.
So
that's part of the money they're interested in.
One of the other big things that's really starting to come out from this is that EA's situation now, where they've gone private again, is going to be seen as kind of a test bed. if this is what pulls EA out of essentially financial collapse is turning out, then you might see some others start to follow suit.
Yeah, I do think getting out of investor culture will certainly help you produce better products for the customer ones that are more likely to make a splash, ones that should translate into more sales. The live service model makes so much money, unfortunately, that I don't know if we can get around that.
Well, I think that this is a battle that will be fought in the East. It's going to be fought between the classic gacha models and the new wave of we are not going to use gacha to distribute mechanics. We're going to use gacha to distribute exclusively. Well, you can use micropayments
for record, by the way,
vanity stuff.
Yeah. For the point of note, EA is currently $20 billion in debt.
Yeah.
Now, currently, granted, that is American debt, which is relevant, but yeah, it's still a lot of money.
Yeah, it's not a small amount. You need quite a few home runs for a company the size of EA to make that up. Now they could just not overspend, cut their costs down significantly, and let FIFA and Madden recoup it while their other teams work on other stuff after they've chopped them up.
Let the free money burn.
Stop developing out of like Austin and San Francisco and places like that.
Yeah, that's
step one. Don't set up your main studios in places where you have to pay $1 bajillion to your people just so that they can eat and have a roof over their head. Just set up your studios in Poland, set them up in Hungary, set them up in Russia. Don't set them up in the most expensive place on earth.
Oh, uh-oh.
Yeah. But even if you want to stay in the States, go to Texas. Go
no,
south.
Well, no, don't go to Texas because you'll wind up in Austin.
Yeah. Well, Austin is like ridiculously expensive. Just go to like, Idaho or something.
If you want the lowest cost place on the planet in terms of relative wealth to go to Oklahoma. There is nothing but like a quarter of that state is an Indian reservation and the rest of it is farmland. It doesn't cost diddly to live there.
This game is being powered by wheat.
Yeah, like
it sounds like it would be a nice and quiet place to live.
Like if I ever have to evacuate Georgia for any reason, I'm going to Oklahoma.
Could be worse. Could be Idaho, powered by potatoes.
Yes, don't get lured in by the promise that you're going to get a sweet deal if you put a peach in your opening screens.
Yeah, don't do that because you'll wind up in Atlanta.
Yeah, I think people have realized that one a while ago.
It is so ridiculous in Georgia, the cost of living discrepancy. You can draw a line on a map where the graph just shows a straight line in cost of living, and it is a circumference around Atlanta that begins in the center of the city and ends where the MARTA line ends.
Oh yeah, Victoria is the same. You've got Melbourne, which is the most expensive city in the world, and then everywhere else.
Yeah, you go to Atlanta and it's $1 gazillion.
Auckland's significantly more expensive than Melbourne.
Have they pipped it? Did they? Hang on.
Last time I saw the listings, it was something like Auckland, Los Angeles, Toronto, then Melbourne. Although I don't know how expensive property is in Toronto since there's none on sale.
Singapore, Hong Kong, Zurich, Geneva, Copenhagen, Paris, New York. Okay, so it's not the most expensive city in the world at this point. Definitely the most expensive in Australia by a long margin.
Give New York about a year. It'll get there.
Not a single one of those is taking into account buying power.
True.
Yeah.
Like there's nobody buying property in Zurich who isn't loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And admittedly, same for Los Angeles.
Yeah. If you want to do an experiment on cost of living and how bad major left-wing cities especially are for it, come to my house, and I want you to go first to the Walmart driving south towards Atlanta and compare the prices there. Buy your dinner there. Then, the next time you need dinner, go to the other side of, away from Atlanta, to the other Walmart that's further away, and compare the cost.
I can do that in 10 minutes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I can I can go if I go to the supermarket in Hornby, where I usually go on my way home from work. The prices there are about a half of what the prices are if I go to Merivale supermarket, which is about 10 minutes from where I live, except in the direction of the rich district instead of in the direction of the industrial district.
Yeah.
And there's like a 50% price difference.
Yeah, it's like that here. If I drive towards the farms, the Walmart on the farm side is half as expensive as the Walmart on the Atlanta side. We've got to block that MARTA line. It's up for vote again.
Yeah, but you're a different city now. You can stop it, right?
Well, it can't make it quite to us, but that line will be awfully close if it does. And they're still fighting us in court over that.
Yeah, the HOA Karens want to cross it.
Oh yeah. The we're in court for racism.
What?
For making our city's apparently racist.
What? Yeah, okay. I'm not sure how that's going to stick, but
yeah, it's gummed up our ability to do anything. We are officially an incorporated city, but we still have to put Buford on and Gwinnett on all of our stuff until it makes it all the way through the courts.
Yeah. Anyway, we should wrap up because I'm getting grumblies outside again.
Okay. There's a good statue of the 7. There we go. All right, folks. I think that's everything we got. I don't have anything else, so we will see you all next week. Sayonara.